After 4 years of racing, the IORA Cup Series has reached its final destination. A track we've ended championship runs at before plays host to our final of 135 official events. Welcome to Nevada, and welcome one last time to the International Online Racing Association. This is the victory lap, the final race of Season 7, and the final race in League history. We'll be, of course, today in Las Vegas. This is the Las Vegas Motor Speedway, and the mile-and-a-half oval circuit will play host to our championship finale, a battle that has gone on all season long between Aiden Walker and Daniel Mosteller. After winning last week, Walker has all the cards in his deck. To gamble, of course, it's not much a gamble any longer. He's set to cash in big. Welcome back live on FTN Broadcasting for the final time on Thursday nights. I'll be your host for tonight's coverage. I'm David Kreutz, commentating and producing. 36 drivers have stepped to the track so far. It is a jammed-packed circuit, and drivers are taking their times as we speak. Provisional pole position is set by Lars Kinowith at the top of the board. It's a 30.314, good for the top time as Lars looks after his first career victory. Ryan Kwan in the 0.28 is on the way as we speak. And many a driver, whether or not they are veterans or rookies, whether or not they've made a start this season or if they've been here all throughout the campaign, now they're all coming together again. Some drivers making starts after seasons of absence, and that's something we're going to look at tonight. Veterans and rookies may be meeting for the first and only time. Kinowith has the provisional pole position. River Page is in third. Alexander Balderas gets up to the top 15 on his final qualifying lap. Chase Schaefer is also on the way here. Michael Deitch not yet on the circuit. Chase making his move, currently scored in 23rd as Will Shack peeks into the top 10. But it's up and down. Carlos Truther takes it to P2. Looking at Daniel Mosteller right now. Mosteller in the original throwback paint scheme. That number 87 is going around for his final opportunity to take the pole position. Out of turn number 4, Demos in the 87 from 19th last time by go high to second place. But Demos cannot knock Kinowith. It looks like Lars still has himself on top. Tyler Shaw has taken his laps, as has Braxton Whitaker. Christian Delgado on the way in the 13 car. And here's Aiden Walker in the 93. Walker with a special paint scheme as well. A lot of throwbacks and tribute schemes coming all at once. Walker, your championship leader in the pink and purple, synonymous with the modern IORA Cup Series. Aiden going for his first lap now, and if he finishes this race, he will officially crown himself as the final IORA Cup Series champion and the 5th individual driver to receive the award. At the high side of the circuit, Aiden Walker building up momentum for what will be his final run down in qualifying. First lap is a 35.78, which puts him in 32nd place. Still, this is going to be the big one. This is the final lap he's got, and he's looking to jump up several tenths of a second at minimum. Outside the top 20, but with a shot to make it a lot more. 15 seconds remain on the clock. Walker's looking for the last ever pole position. With 10 seconds left, Lars Kinowith has it. Up high at a turn 4, using every inch of the circuit. At the line for Aiden Walker, he will take it! The final pole position, Aiden Walker gets it with 5 seconds left on the clock. 30.281, and the IORA number 93 takes top honors for the final time. You could see he was pushing off the exit of the corner there, and he'll knock Lars Kinowith just out of the way. He was digging for that one without a doubt, and he pushed hard enough just to get it. There's the iRacing official pace car. There's the field getting put together with your pole sitter, Aiden Walker. For the final time, let's go down your starting grid here in the IORA Cup Series. Aiden Walker in the number 93 takes the pole position inside of row number 1 with a 30.281. Lars Kinnewith is in second place, 30.314, as Daniel Mosteller, last season's champion, second in points this year, lines up on row 2. Then you'll have Carlos Truther. Truther is 4th place, Elijah Innes goes P5, and Jacob Wilkerson is 6th place, row 3, 30.391. 7th place then on back is going to be River Page with Jason Gallagher in 8th, Mohamed Omir in 9th, and Corbin Collins in 10th. Shay Schaefer and Daniel Salo round out the top dozen with 13th place Aiden Smith, 14th, Jason Didana, Aladam Contreras in 15th, Will Shack 16th, and Michael Cornetis P17. Pravin Vijaykumar rounds out in the 18th spot. You'll then, immediately after these guys, have 19th and 20th, Henry Kaloff and Ryan Kwan. James Thurston will be 21st. Andres Varas is 22nd. Alexander Balderas is P23 with 24th in Christian Delgado, 25th in Xander McKinney, and Tyler Shaw 26th place. Braxton Whitaker going to be P27. Devins Baker P28. Hudson Sangster 29th, and Bryce Kohler 30th. Your final drivers after that go as follows. Howie Burrows in his first and last career start, 31st. Cooper Glick, 32nd. Mason Moriarty, 23rd. He falls back to 33rd. He'll be taking a pace lap tonight with Michael Deitch, then 34th and 35th on the grid, the last of which, Wayne Kennedy in the 038. Qualifying where he did in Talladega, where he collected his first and what could be his only Cup Series win. We're extending our pace laps tonight to begin with a 3-wide salute as the entire field gets together up in front. And as a matter of fact, we'll take it all the way up high and make it 4 wide. From the FTN Broadcasting team, if you don't intend to stick around all night long, well, the most important thing is you've been along with us for the ride. Since the beginning of 2022, FTN Broadcasting has been the original, of course, provider for all coverage of the IORA Indycar, Pro 4, and Formula 1 series, and has been the longest tenured provider of IORA Cup Series coverage from Season 2 to the race you're seeing today. Every driver and every crew has come together in solidarity, and we are so excited to begin the show one last time. There is no other series like IORA on Thursday nights, and for so many of these drivers, it has changed their lives immeasurably. Daniel Mosteller up high, the most successful, the winningest driver in the 87, is in the paint scheme that he won his first ever championship with 2021. The inside groove has Aiden Walker set to win a championship tonight in the IORA colors, as is Elijah Innes in the number 1, and the number 71 of Mohamed Omir. Well, you see the 71 is Corbin Collins today. He has the Victory Lap logo as well. This field has been through quite a lot, and so many of these drivers have raced each other now for more than 4 years, all meeting across different walks of life through simulation racing. And the community that this league has put together is second to none. To go out on a limb, I feel, and many of these drivers do as well, that we are going out on top with the best racing quality that we've ever had, with the best talent that we've had as a whole, with so many amazing drivers. And not all of them are brand new. So many have been with us so long that their talents have developed and they become rock stars in the sim racing world. And we are privileged to have each and every one of them. Mason Moriarty is taking his final laps on the circuit tonight. He's pulled in and he's let the field go back at it, but he got a chance on the circuit one last time. He has served as the owner from Season 4 onward, and he's done an amazing job of pulling this field through to its best ever tenure. 4 wide, one more time, and we will begin racing for 150 more laps. What a group it is. At the conclusion of tonight's race, there will be no other to chase. There will be no 8th season. But for many of these drivers, it's only just the beginning. Alexander Balderas at the back of the field, a 2-time race winner. James Thurston, a former champion in the number 96 for Brian Murphy Esports. Michael Cormetis, a former winner in the IORA Cup Series. He won the Season 1 finale race. He's back on track again. We're getting ready to go racing. A remarkably talented group that has come so close over 4 years is set to put the green flag behind them once and for all. Walker is to the bottom. Kinnowith is to the top. Victory awaits for one of these 35 racing drivers. Who it is remains to be seen. And perhaps this is the most coveted race of all at the end of the IORA Cup Series tenure. One lap to green. The Las Vegas Motor Speedway has seen use in stock car racing now for the better part of 30 years, and the mile-and-a-half venue is much like others, but of course its track conditions are quite dissimilar. Tonight you'll see the 1.5 miler in Las Vegas, Nevada as host. The NASCAR Cup Series has made it a prominent track on the schedule with multiple race dates year after year. It's warm today with an ambient temperature of 80 degrees Fahrenheit. The track temp is coming in at 88 degrees, but notably we've got winds now westbound at 19 miles an hour. Temperature is not going to play as much of a role right now. The winds are keeping things cool, but tires and fuel, as always, will be everything for drivers today. 80% fuel cap means it's a multi-stop race, and since it's one of our longest on the calendar at 150 laps, we're expecting to see more than 2 pit stops today, and we might even go to the territory of 3 stops or 4 stops. It could be more than that. Aiden Walker gets to set it off one final time. Everyone in this field here today for one reason: to celebrate the remarkable life of a league that we've seen on these Thursday nights. 4 years, a month, and 2 days will come to a close at the end of the next 150 laps. Aiden Walker on the inside will grab a gear, and for the final time in league history, we are underway from the Las Vegas Motor Speedway. The IORA Cup Series finale is in motion. 35 drivers go through the opening sector. Leader is Walker. Demos immediately dives down low. And so it begins. Daniel Mosteller will get the jump and take over the rest of the field here. As you can see, Demos in that number 87 car ahead of Aiden Walker in the 93. After last week's race-ending wreck, Mosteller is no longer going to find himself eligible for the championship. The point spread is just too far for him to make it up in one race. Aiden Walker having 1,220 points as compared to Daniel Mosteller's 1,177. That is a gap of 43 points, and it is insurmountable for Mosteller today. Before we get things going, of course, I'd like to thank all the fans in the chat room, including Howie, Jinx, Fake Boy, Xander McKinney, Ottercat, and Brian Murphy, of course. And we sincerely appreciate all the thank you IORA messages we've been receiving throughout the week. 3 Wide, Omir, Paige, and Chase Schaefer. Perhaps it's a shame that one of the most highly anticipated events in league history is its closure, but so many drivers have come out tonight to race again, some of which we haven't seen in several seasons, including, of course, Michael Cormetis. Cormetis is a driver who's been an on and off guy for several seasons. He was full-time through the first 3, and he's working tonight with Kaloff Deitch Racing, including the 63 of Henry Kaloff and the 17 of Michael Deitch. He's a guy who we remember from the early days as one of the most successful up-and-coming young drivers. Now he finds himself back in the hot seat again, and last time we were here at Las Vegas he proved to be very strong. That was in Season 3. Now, Cormetis is coming up on the Murphy Esports Ford Mustang of James Thurston. Multiple champions are in the building tonight. As a matter of fact, the only one not with us is Sean Conklin. We had Conklin race once this year. He was able to get back to victory. However, we have River Page, of course, in the number 24. We have Daniel Mosteller up front in the 87. We got Thurston in the 96. And Aiden Walker, so long as he just continues on without getting disqualified, he will add himself to the all-important catalog of IORA Cup Series champions. Through the opening 6, he's got it made in second. Daniel Mosteller is looking for top honors to win tonight as he holds fort in the race lead. Now let's talk first and foremost about who we got up in front and who's got the special paint schemes. We've talked about these top 2 guys quite a lot, but if you take a look further back, more drivers making modifications. Chase Schaefer, of course, with a pink playoff accent, he finds himself 5th in the championship, battling for P5 in points. Schaefer tonight on the back end of the 99 has the Thank You IORA bumper plate, and you can see it from the perspective of Elijah Innes. Innes is racing in the IORA number 1 as he chases after Schaefer right now. It's pretty spread out at the upper portion of the pack. Elijah finding himself in 7th place. River Page is now P8. Corbin Collins in the victory lap number 71 goes 9th. Then you'll see Mohamed Omir, Jason Gallagher. Aiden Smith, a rookie this year, making a few starts in the calendar. And he's changed up the colors on his Popeye 09. No longer is it just orange, but instead it's got that IORA purple all throughout. Aiden qualified 13th, and that is currently where he is running as Mohamed Omir looks to the inside. Jason Dodonna back on the way. Dodonna has been a part-timer since Season 3. And it looks like he's returned once again for the final time in the number 69 car for Keen Parts. Pravin Vijaykumar races in the Mikasuki throwback, the 01. It's his final start, of course, in his career, as is Daniel Salo. Aladam Contreras in the 92, putting the IORA bumper on the back end and the pink color on his number. So a special look one last time. Andres Varas with the IORA logo on his quarter panel. The 84. Daniel Mosteller still leads, and you can see Varas there with the victory lap front end. Will Shack, a one-time race winner at Daytona, to begin the Xfinity era in Season 5. Back on the racetrack, he qualified 16th. He is still in the top 20 currently, as Henry Kaloff is all the way at the tail end of the field here with Alexander Balderas. Christian Delgado is side by side with Ryan Kwan. Braxton Whitaker running in the B-Man design car as always. Tonight, red, white, black. Thank you, IORA, on the side of that 51 as he takes it back to his original number font. Devins Baker in the 14. Hudson Sangster in the 42. Sangster working with Cubed Designs today. And that Chevrolet Camaro making his final start a little bit later than anticipated this season. But the driver of the number 42 making sure he could return one final time. Cube Graphics helping out with Kaloff Deitch Racing and their social media team. And it looks like they've done an amazing job of that. Again, a great paint scheme on that 42. You see Howie Burrows making first start. And she currently finds herself 28th in the Hatsune Miku number 98. Xander McKinney in 30th for the time being. Throwback to Jeff Green in the early 2000s of the Busch Series. Michael Deitch in the 17 with a changed look. Hendrick cars with FTN Broadcasting on the front end. And there's the 94 of Jason Semedo, one lap down, started off pit road in the Amazon Prime IORA car. Tyler Shaw is 34th and last on the lead lap right now in the 104. Mason Moriarty is the only driver not to start. Moriarty finding himself back down on pit road after running one lap in formation with the field, and so far it's been a very clean start with Daniel Mosteller getting out by about 0.4 of a second. Jacob Wilkerson to the inside on Lars Kinnewith now. Jacob's got it on the second groove. Lars on the bottom. Wilkerson, a part-timer this year, multiple notable race victories, including Season 4 in Talladega, where James Thurston flipped on top of his car. He was able to get away from the incident and eventually win the race regardless. Now, Wilkerson with one final shot. Jacobs got it low. Lars has it high. It'll be side-by-side for fourth, but it looks clear the advantage is with the 43. Rewind further on back, and there's the 92 of Aladam Contreras. Contreras is going to be in the mix now with Mohamed O'Meara. Mohamed on the high side, couldn't stick it, and instead that's the advantage for Contreras. Aladam making it up now inside the top 15 by virtue of that maneuver. The mid-pack is going to be a long-term scuffle all throughout the night. And a little bit of a different racing attitude, perhaps knowing how much longer this race is. Our typical intermediate has been 100 to 120 laps. And this is the only time this year we've been able to extend that and go out to 150. And that comes in large part due to the fact that tonight, not a doubleheader, the Highline Racing League ending season 20 early enough to get this season finale in order. 3 wide now with Henry Kaloff. Kaloff shooting through the middle. And as Henry does so, Andres Barras lets him by. It'll be Kaloff now for 19th as he gets through. All the while, Jason Dodonna heads up to the higher side of the circuit once again. See what happens here for Jason. Up top and across the line. Race lead has not been a contest so far. Daniel Mosteller's had his, and it's been his since the beginning. Half a second back remains Aiden Walker in second. Gotta wonder if the long-term pace helps for Walker, or if that won't be the case. Based on the numbers we're looking at, we could see a two-stop strategy dividing this race into thirds. First 50 laps, that's going to be, of course, the first third of the race. Then you go down to pit road at about lap 50. Subsequently, you'll go until lap 100, and immediately after that fact, it'll be the final pit stop of the day. And the final run from 100 onward would be the ideal way to split this race, a two-stop strategy, into thirds. That's entirely dependent on the whole field, though. Lars Kinnewith on the inside right now. Carlos Schruter, the man he's chasing. Carlos right now in fourth place after Jacob Wilkerson gets by to enter the podium. A little bit of contact there for Andres Varas in the 84. That'll send him back a few spots. Ryan Kwan was on the left rear. Nudged him once, twice, and it looks like now Varas is 19th place. Might be in jeopardy of falling outside of the top 20. Watch this with Alexander Balderas coming through. Balderas surges to the inside. It'll be Kwan over Balderas, but it looks like the 95 car gets ahead of Jason Dodonna. All the while, Ryan Kwan looks to double up and take his pass. Kwan to the inside. And complete the pass right there. Andres Varas remains on defense, but it's clear now that the 84 is feeling the pressure. A little bit of checkup from all guys involved. Varas is loose, and he's squirrely, and he makes contact up the track Goes the 0.28 of Quan, the caution's out. Take a look back. First yellow flag of the day. You saw what happened live. Ryan Quan and Andres Varas were racing rather antsy with one another. And the consequences are pretty clear early on. Side by side for the 0.28 and the 84 doesn't turn out right. Varas was loose through the corner, really pushing himself maybe a little too hard. And as they come up the circuit, they make contact here. Varas overcorrects, and that sends him into Quan again. They both come up. Yellow flag is out. At lap number 24, right at 150. Varas shoots up the circuit again. Braxton Whitaker diving through the grass. Yellow flag is out. As the caution flies for the first time tonight, it'll be Daniel Mosteller leading, Aiden Walker in second, Jacob Wilkerson third, and Carlos Schruter in P4 as we are set to head down to pit road. The field comes down and in, and it'll be Demos with Walker, your drivers who are top two in points, making it in quickest. Vijay Kumar on pit road already. So it looks like some drivers getting some damage repaired as a result of that most recent incident. We'll see who comes out first, but 25 laps in, that leads about 125 laps to spare, which means that we could still see a two-stop race from this point as everyone comes in early. 4 tires and fuel the recipe. Daniel Mosteller beats out Aiden Walker. Jacob Wilkerson, the number 98 car, gets out in front as well. That'll be Howie Burrows with Carlos Truther, Chase Schaefer, River Page, Corbin Collins, Elijah Innes, and Josh Gallagher making up the top 10. Howie Burrows receiving an end-of-line penalty in the 98. Well, that'll move every driver one spot up here. And joining the top 10 will be Michael Cormetis. Michael in the 25 car goes P10 as a result of that penalty call. First issued of the day, an end of line for the 98 of Howie Burrows. 1 lap to green. Daniel Mosteller sets it off on the inside. Aiden Walker takes it upstairs. 1 lap to green from this point on. We'll restart at lap number 27, which gives us just under 120 laps on the day remaining. First stint went by quick. Just a little scuffle outside the top 15 brings us back to a slower pace. We'll see now what everyone can do together as we go for our first restart of the day. The penalty in the 98 car self-requested as reported in chat. It's going to take the 98 team and Burrows to 24th here on the lineup. Michael Deitch going to be behind, just got off pit road, as did Tyler Shaw and Xander McKinney here. McKinney running in the number 70 as compared to the usual number 40 for that team. So far, your best 2 drivers this season are the guys who have been up front from the jump. Let's see if it continues that way as we are set to go for the green flag once again. Inside of row number 1 is Daniel Mosteller. The outside is Aiden Walker. Your championship rivals all year long set it off again. It's a dead even start, but Demos has the edge into 1. Shuffling further back, Lars Kinna with the number 11 car drops to the inside. And here you have it. Already a battle. Up high, Elijah Innes into 92 of Aladam Contreras. And so quickly do you see these problems begin to develop. Aggressive racing. Whether or not it becomes a problem is up to the driver's discretion here, but when you start beating and banging at a high speed, usually there is bound to be some conflict and chaos. Track temperature remains just a little bit warmer than the ambient temp, coming in now at 89 degrees Fahrenheit, but we haven't seen anything in the realm of real scorching territory, as in above 90 degrees Fahrenheit. James Thurston pulling to the inside rapidly for a 2-for-1 pass, and that pulls Thurston up to 8th, just like that. Great pass for Thurston as he surges ahead of both the 85 and Gallagher and the 25 of Michael Cormenis. Today, Thurston started in 21st, so he's been going from the mid-pack up ever since. Maybe not indicative of where he usually should be, but Thurston faltering in qualifying as compared to usual. At the line for Thurston, he just ran a 30.678. Aladam Contreras now mired in the mid-pack. Lars Kinnewith coming with Michael Cormenis. Although it looks like rather than coming up, Michael Cormenis is going back down the order. He finds himself 12th now, qualified, of course, 17th on the day, started that last run in 10th. So, struggling to stay in the top 10 early. Watch for Aiden Smith. Smith heads to the inside. Big block from Cormenis there. Michael drops in, makes sure that Smith has nowhere to go there. So, Aiden stays right behind. Watch ahead now. River Page going at it with teammate James Thurston. Perhaps the two most successful teammates in IORA history, both being champions and race winners in their own right. Thurston winning the Season 3 championship and River Page winning the Season 5 championship. These two drivers, above all teammate duos, have the accolades to prove they are a step ahead. Without a doubt, most impressive that both drivers were able to collect championships even though we've had so many competitive drivers come in. As it stands, 32 laps in out of 150, Thurston has the lead over Page, and one final time they're battling each other for third in the championship. It looks like with where James is right now, he would have the edge over River Page. Carlos Truther, 4th to 3rd. Gone one spot up on the day, the one-time race winner and only a full-time competitor now for the better part of 2 seasons. He's become one of the best in the business. But perhaps the big problem is that he hasn't had a lot of time to prove it. If Truther had a season under him, one more, shall we say, maybe you would have seen a multi-win season out of the 39, a team that has now become so consistent inside the top 10 and top 5. And a veteran's right behind him right now in Chase Schaefer. Schaefer, of course, has the number 96 of Thurston following. Chase Schaefer and James Thurston having a storied rivalry in the IORA Cup Series. And we really don't know where it began or what has caused it, but it seems that every time these two drivers race around each other, they really cut each other no slack. Expect tonight to be no different if push comes to shove. However, currently the two are keeping their distance and they are involved in separate battles. Aiden Walker on the way up now, getting back beside River Page, and he's open to get past both of the Power Smash teammates all in one. Aiden to the inside on James Thurston. Aladam Contreras in the number 92, 15th to 8th. So he's been able to gain now 7 places, and it looks like this run with this new strategy call has really benefited him. Lars Kinnewith, maybe not so much, but he's looking to get back on the trail to go up and up. Your second place qualifier shot back to the tail end of the top 10 after we all went to pit road. Corbin Collins in the 71 here. Take a look at him, 10th to 10th as it stands. To the inside goes Collins, and taking with them, Lars Kinnewith. Michael Cormetis has gone back to 14th, so he's dropped back another 2 spots from the last time we checked on him here. Up high, Contreras is going to be shot further up. And here comes Kennewick. Lars with a real opportunity. Still, Contreras is clear. It's been tight to this point. But it looks like even still, there's no way to get around the Contreras car for Kennewick. Lars has to keep on waiting for an opportunity. Up in front, Daniel Mosteller still leads by 0.4 of a second, and it looks like tonight he is expecting not to be stopped. Jacob Wilkerson is in second here, but even though he's gotten up to P2, it looks like he hasn't had any pace to gain on Mosteller. He's only been quick enough so far just to keep the rest of the field at bay. Coming across the line again for Wilkerson here, and you'll see it. Last time by, he ran a 31.684. Daniel Mosteller more than 1/10 of a second faster with a 31.574. So it looks like pretty clearly the better driver in this case is Daniel Mosteller, at least with these immediate runs. Been a ridiculously strong performance for Demos in the opening 39. Coming across the line again to make it lap number 40. And it is all in for Daniel Mosteller. Watch further back. Jason Gallagher now involved in 2 double file battles. He's just behind that of Corbin Collins and Aiden Smith, and he is going toe-to-toe with the 25 of Michael Cormetis. Mikey drops back another spot here. Looks like he just can't maintain relative to the 85. Corbin Collins is still to the inside on Aiden Smith. Aiden at the stripe. Still chasing after Kaloff. This would be to enter the top 10. Michael Cormetis now rolls in 14th place. Daniel Mosteller has only extended the race leading gap, but take a look inside the top 5 and top 10 places, and there are still battles to be had. Aladam Contreras surges high, and here you have, just ahead of him, Aiden Walker. Take a look on board now with the number 92 car as he comes up on your championship leader. How exactly is he going to approach the battle for 7th? Looks like taking that passive approach because it'll be Walker putting on the pressure for James Thurston. Thurston, for the first time in this run, has the 93 lunge up under him. Can't quite get around, but Thurston now knows Walker's got a real shot when it comes to pace. The Power Smash teammates run as 1, 5th and 6th for the time being. And looks like again, Contreras fades back down the back straight, but Aiden Walker is locked in. Single file train, most of the way down. Alexander Balderas now with Daniel Salo, and the next spot for him to take would be right there on Michael Cormetis. The battle to have the final spot in the top 15, 15th place to be exact. Balderas right now is looking to move up for 14th. And the way things are looking for Cormetis, that is the next step. Last time by for Mikey at 32.079, slower than Balderas, but quicker than Daniel Salo. So you're starting to see tire degradation, notably further back. Clean air for Demos has really helped out as he just ran a 31.961, so he is more than 1/10 of a second quicker than the drivers who are very far behind him. In some cases, he's above 2/10 faster. Aiden Walker side by side with James Thurston. This time it is Thurston low, while Walker pushes on the higher groove. Thurston losing ground. River Page has been able to run out. All the while, it could be multiple cars passing Thurston. The heat is on. It's Aladam Contreras. Contreras to the top side of the circuit. It's side by side now with a 92 and 96. And it looks like after jockeying with Lars Kennewick, Aladam has hit his stride and now makes it in front of another. Aiden Walker could be up next with the way he's moving, as the resurgence for the Contreras cars come to life. Alexander Valderas passed by Daniel Salo. Michael Cormetis back up to 12th, as now he goes directly at it with Corbin Collins. Collins on the bottom, Cormetis up top. Michael Cormetis now taking back some spots he lost, and this could be strategy more than anything else. He fell back earlier on, but it doesn't look like he found much an issue with that. The thing was that he was falling back, but he wasn't losing a radical amount of pace. He settled in just within the top 15, and now you might be looking at some drivers who are having problems keeping up the pace they were once setting. So, with that being said, someone who saved their stuff, maybe just like Michael Cormetis, is going to have exactly what he needs to return. Lars Kinnewith is looking to catch back up to Aladam Contreras. To the inside on James Thurston, hoping to continue cutting that gap. For lap number 49, Thurston gets away. Michael Cormetis in 12th place, with Aiden Smith in 11th. Looks like the 09 car has held off well so far. Big wiggle further behind. That's Corbin Collins. Collins heads to the inside on Daniel Salo. The only way he's going to maintain that position is taking it through the apex of the corner, and he really took it right through. Taking those words to heart, Collins gets shaken. Elijah Innes in the 1. 16th place from 5th. Looks like so far this most recent stint hasn't necessarily treated him well. A lot of time to recover, of course, but right now anyway, if you're Innes, you're waiting on a better opportunity. Just trying to keep himself ahead of the top 15 bubble. Corbin Collins falls back, so it's going to be Innes for 15th, and now you might just see Alexander Valderas taking 16th place. Up high and at the line, Valderas only had it by 2 1/1000ths of a second. Just enough. Those differences are minuscule, but you can see for Corbin Collins it's becoming a bigger issue of getting loose again. Mohamed Omir gets by, and it's going to be Christian Delgado next up on that train. Now only 100 laps to go for the IORA Cup Series. Collins has to make an unforced pit stop, or rather, unintended. A quick break in for the driver of the 71, and Collins is in trouble. Daniel Mosteller leading 52 laps in out of 150, still showing no signs of faltering. Exciting to this point for the 87 car. A few retirees. Ryan Kwan, Christian Delgado still racing, although he's 13 laps down. Andres Vara still with us, even though he's 27 laps down. You can see Pravin Vijaykumar with damage repairs. Same goes for Braxton Whitaker. But now that we're 53 laps through, we might be seeing our next pit stop cycle by the 70s or 80s, depending on how long we stay green. Alexander Valderas slots into line 16th, chasing again after Michael Cormetis. Watch this. Valderas, 15th place, chasing after Mikey here. Corbin Collins falling out of line is going to move everyone up a position. Mohamed Omir getting away from the shaky 71, now goes toe-to-toe with Innes. Elijah drops further back at the line. Well, it looks like the top spot is pretty clear for Daniel Mosteller. Second place is not so much. Jacob Wilkerson now sees a dead heat battle, and so does Aiden Walker and River Page. Walker to the inside now with a 24. And Walker now has himself by both of your Power Smash Infinity Speed Motorsport drivers. Aiden getting by River Page. And it's going to be 5th place for Aiden at the line, although River gets a very good run out of 4 and might be able to make a quick comeback. 56 laps in out of 150 here. Chase Schaefer diving deep for 2nd place again. Wilkerson had it briefly, and it was only a few hundredths of thousandths of a second last time by. Now you'll see Thurston's got it by car length. Bumper to bumper. Wilkerson doesn't make any more contact than necessary. Let's push comes to shove there. 57 laps in. James Thurston in the number 96 car. We'll take a look at this. 21st up to 9th. Henry Kaloff, 19th through 10th. Daniel Salo, 12th to 11th. Jason Gallagher, 8th down to 12th. So it looks like a little bit falling back for the 85 car. Nevertheless, the rookie driver has maintained well against a pressure-filled pack. Mohamed Omir, 9th to 13th, is 4 spots behind where he started. And so, much like Gallagher, they started together and currently raced right alongside each other. Number 13, that of course is going to be Christian Delgado, still fighting to stay up with these guys. Again, Delgado is a lapper running 31st, but he's going to leg this race out regardless. To the inside on Elijah Innes and maybe trying to get it on Balderas. No dice. A little bit more spread out for your top 5 as Chase Schaefer has gotten away from Jacob Wilkerson. There is River Page. Aladon Contreras, 15th to 7th. Lars Kenowitz, 2nd to 8th. 21st to 9th is James Thurston. Thurston has made it up now 12 places. 59 laps in out of 150. And now coming to his 60th lap, this Ford Mustang is all in on passing Kenowith. Trying to get a little bit closer to his teammate in Page. And while River got the quick route up to the top 5, Thurston's had to really claw for it. Side by side. Can't quite get there, but it'll be a big crossover maneuver. Take a look at this for James Thurston as he drops in. And that's going to be the move for 8th place. Just a textbook up and down. And Thurston's going to get the better of Kenowith. Henry Kaloff just behind in 10th. Thurston fighting as if it's for the race lead here. And Lars Kenowith doing the same. Both drivers giving hardly an inch. Side by side for now more than a lap. .62 laps in out of 150. James Thurston takes the spot. He's got it, and he's got the defense to back it up. Josh Gallagher in the number 85 here with the 98. And that, of course, is Howie Burrows. Burrows 2 laps down after an end-of-line penalty in the previous restart. Gap to leader between Chase Schaefer and Daniel Mosteller has only expanded since the last time we checked. It's gotten closer to 0.6 of a second, but last time around it was about a half second here. So Schaefer has not yet found the key to success up and in front. In fact, maybe the biggest problem right now is that nobody else has. Jacob Wilkerson has dropped back on Schaefer, and it looks like Schaefer has only dropped back on Mosteller. So when you look at the front of the field, they're only spreading apart more. The mid-pack is more evenly spaced. Mohamed Omir just got by Burrows. Daniel Salo goes at it with the lapper of Delgado. But these drivers have not a chance getting back in front and making anything happen on the guys ahead. Daniel Mosteller knows this, and for him, it's to his advantage. At the line for 65. Aiden Smith and Elijah Innes again. Alexander Balderas getting by the Smith car. That and move them again into 14th. Side by side before 99, of course. Here we see it. Elijah Innes ahead of Aiden Smith. And you take a look at those fuel strategy and pit strategy numbers. Slowly but surely, they'll have to come back into the minds of every driver. Last pit lap for many was about lap 25. You can see some with deviations, but overall, the majority of the field going in about 40 laps ago. So as a result, the next 10, 15 laps, pit road window is going to open again. Halfway point, lap 75. 2/3 marker as Tyler Shaw is going to spin is lap 100, and Shaw going into pit road. And it looks like he gets it back together, but a little bit of a slide on the entry. He'll go in. Hudson Sangster in the 42 is now on the way out. So you're beginning to see drivers go in for the final time, of course, for this opening half run. Still expecting a multi-stop strategy, but for the first half of the race, they'll go in one more time, and their final pit stop of all will be closer to lap 120 if we remain green. Demos opts to stay out that time by. He's setting the pace and setting the tone for everyone. In the top 20, nobody opts to go through. Still a very unpopular call to enter pit road before the leader. And that's really not much of a shock. Mohamed Omir up high. Daniel Salo down in the inner groove. And now, as they come toward turns 3 and 4 again, going to be dead even. This is for 11th. One driver going to concede? Not quite, but Salo can't get the apex. Looks like the exit off of turn 4, perhaps the most important point for passes today. 1 and 2, we've seen drivers rather even, but if you get away out of 4 better, sets you up fantastic for the front straight, and also you just don't have to bite off more than you can chew momentum-wise. Kinnowith watches Thurston as Christian Delgado with new tires surges high. 1 to the inside on pit road. It'll be Aladam Contreras. And the 92 makes it in. You'll see Mason Moriarty parked on the way inside as well, as Carlos Truther has signaled he's about to make himself one of the many to arrive on pit road. This will be Carlos' second stop on the day, and the 39 car with a little bit of an internet trouble right there, but otherwise he'll be fine. Daniel Mosteller comes in, as does Aiden Walker, as does Carlos Truther, and even River Page. 4 of your heavy hitters all at once, making it to pit road, leaving Chase Schaefer out as your leader. Schaefer's going to stay out. This could be his final lap. Michael Deitch gives the signal he's coming in. For Schaefer, looks like now, takes his foot off the gas, and he'll take Jacob Wilkerson with him. They come in as the top 2. Now Daniel Mosteller gets back on his way. Aiden Walker in the 93 grabs a gear going through turns 1 and 2. And you'll see now that Mosteller's got himself right beside the 98 car. Howie Burrows gets out just beforehand. But it looks like the battle's going to be between those on pit road and those off it. Chase Schaefer's on the way now. Taking a look from the back end perspective, do you see Demos? Do you see Page? Well, it'll be hard to miss them when they come by. Let's see how long Schaefer lasts here. There's Walker. And it looks like by that same token, Daniel Mosteller is already up and ahead. Jacob Wilkerson fighting side by side as Carlos Truther surges by, as does River Page. Clear as day, Daniel Mosteller gets what he needs and breaks out to the lead again. Only driver to remain close is Aiden Walker. Gap between the two is 0.3 of a second. Chase Schaefer nor Jacob Wilkerson get away particularly lucky there as they fall back behind Carlos Truther. But either way, they got newer tire than Truther and only fell within a second. So pretty quickly, they'll be able to pick apart that number 39 car. Even one lap of fresher rubber makes a lot of a difference when you're pushing 100%. Usually, that difference comes out as the race goes on, the long-term rubber wear is shown. But I think now, with the understanding that it could be do or die, both Schaefer and Wilkerson have the incentive to push like they've got nothing else. Corbin Collins now coming to lap number 75, and it looks like if he stays that one lap longer, he'll lead to the final halfway point of an IORA Cup Series race. Corbin, last one to pit road at lap number 52, and he's not necessarily a holdout, he's on an alternate strategy. Collins finds himself 2.3 seconds up on Mosteller, and it looks like although Mosteller is clawing in rapidly on Corbin, he will be able to lead to the halfway point. 75 laps in and 75 laps remain for the International Online Racing Association. We have hit our final halfway. Last pit lap again for Corbin Collins. Number 52, lap 52, meaning he's gone now upwards of 22 laps. 75 to go. Chase Schaefer is coming up on River Page. See what happens here. This is going to be the battle for third place once Corbin Collins is put to pass. Page has gotten away from teammate Thurston well because James right now runs in the net 10th place. All the while, River runs in net 4th. And as Corbin Collins now gets passed by Daniel Mosteller, 87 is the race leader again. Mosteller gets by, and as quickly as Corbin Collins is taken out of the lead, he's already in jeopardy of losing second place. At the stripe, he'll hang on for P2, but it's no surprise now that the only thing he can do is concede. Up high goes Collins. Down low is a surging Aiden Walker. Daniel Mosteller now leads by 6.5 tenths of a second. Jay Schaefer still eyeing River Page, but Corbin Collins gets tight against the 24. Going to slow everyone down in this little pack. Defense for Page is going to have to be turned up to 11 very soon. Last time by, River ran a 31.056. Still a strong lap, but keep in mind behind him, Chase Schaefer, 31.12. So he got slowed down a little bit more off the lapper. This lap is going to be a fair comparison for both drivers as River gets all the way up to the top side of the circuit. Building up that momentum out of 4, and he'll sacrifice the 2 corners for it. Chase Schaefer, half a tenth slower again. And so it looks like Page coming to his own with some defense to make sure that both Schaefer and Wilkerson can't get by. Your top 10 sees Daniel Mosteller leading over Aiden Walker in second, River Page in third, and Chase Schaefer P4. Jacob Wilkerson concludes the top 5 in the number 43 car. Then you'll have Carlos Truther, Corbin Collins, Aladam Contreras, Lars Kinowith, and Mohamed Omir rounding out the top 10. 70 laps remain for the IORA Cup Series, and if you'd like to start your sim racing journey with our other broadcasted leagues across the week, we would love to have you do so. And you can start today by going to iRacing.com and registering yourself for a brand new account. iRacing not only brings the most realistic experience for the NASCAR program, including the Cup Series, Xfinity Series, and trucks, but also for Formula One, Indycar, the World Endurance Championship, and many more types and disciplines of racing. No better place to start, and with 17 years of racing experience, iRacing is the premier online simulator on the market. Visit iRacing.com to learn more. With 69 laps to go, Daniel Mosteller holds a nice race lead, and we'll be right back after this. Thank you for tuning in to the IORA Cup Series finale. We'll return after a message from our friends at iRacing.
Racing isn't easy, but experiencing it is. iRacing puts you in the driver's seat with the industry's leading sim racing game. Drive on laser scan replicas of the greatest racing circuits from around the world. Go head to head against other drivers chosen by skill-based matchmaking to ensure competitive racing at every level. Compete across all your favorite series. In officially licensed cars engineered to deliver the most accurate driving experience possible. Join a race or host your own with players from across the globe. Race against the computer or in a league with friends. Feel the thrill behind the wheel. Visit iRacing.com.
67 laps remain. Daniel Mosteller seeing Aiden Walker is the closest driver to him, and it looks like there's been nobody closer all night long. Mosteller is eyeing his 4th victory of the season. Aiden Walker, if he gets there, it would be his 5th. 0.3 of a second remaining, and it looks like the gap is diminished. All the while, Chase Schaefer here with Tyler Shaw, River Page, Jacob Wilkerson, and there's the number 21 car, a lapper. Aiden Walker still ahead of this kerfuffle, and it's going to be Bryce Kohler tonight in the 21. Down low goes River. Watch now as Jacob Wilkerson surges on the out of 4, gets himself closer to Page. Looks like Chase Schaefer finally able to break through. There's a lapper of Kohler once again. Jacob not able to immediately follow that move. Let's see what we can do this time around. 64 laps remaining and heading toward the final stretch. One more pit stop still to be made, and we're expecting to see that cycle coming in at about lap 120, in which drivers will then finish it off for about a 30-lap dash. Page putting the bumper there to Wilkerson, but it doesn't work for the spot. River, very close in the EPI. Toyota Camry getting contact with each other. Michael Cormetis has gotten it up to 13th. You might remember he fell back, cautioned out 2nd time today. And we are pacing. Taking a look upstairs as to why. Jason Semedo immediately sending a message. And the yellow flag is out, 2nd time today. And looking to see what caused it. After our longest run of the day here, we're backing it down. Field is at a standstill as everyone comes by. 62 laps to go. Daniel Mosteller leading the way. Looking to officially confirm who's involved in that most recent incident here. And you can see the 69 of Jason Dodonna on the way out as drivers escaped from what was the incident, but no sign officially as to where it happened. Taking a look upstairs. Pace car is out, and you can see the field still going. We'll get a word from race control and figure it out, but in the meanwhile, everyone comes down to pit road for what could be the final stop of the day. Pit exit going to be critical to watch here. 4 tires and fuel is still the expectation. Aiden Walker beats out River Page and company. Daniel Mosteller goes second, and he'll have Chase Schaefer, Jacob Wilkerson, Page in P5, then Truther, Kinowith, Mohamed Omir, Corbin Collins, and Elijah Innes making up the top 10. Aladam Contreras involved in that most recent incident, and you'll see him now on pit road. Watch this. Into turn 1, Lars Kinowith contact with the 92. That sends Contreras up the track. One car up there, the yellow flag flies. Getting the official word from race control, that's the cause of the wreck. Lap 88, Aladam Contreras and Lars Kinowith. Now Contreras is on pit road getting his damage repaired, as you can see. And the field is set to go at it again with only 59 laps remaining. It's toe-to-toe now between Walker and Demos. But for the first time all night long, it appears that 93 has the upper hand. We'll see if that lasts, but after a strong run off pit road, looks like the 93 of Walker has it over his championship rival. Although no matter what, Aiden Walker is set to walk away from this race with a championship so long as he is not disqualified. It really does come down to who gets this final win. I think more than anything else, that's the final goal for either Walker or Mosteller. Aladam Contreras is retiring from the race, and it looks like he will not be able to finish out this last stretch. iRacing official pace car will take it back to pit road. We got 25 on the lead lap as we return to business. To the green, Daniel Mosteller nowhere close to Aiden Walker as he gets off like a rocket ship on the inside. Green flags out, 59 laps to go. Double file, 3 rows deep. Kinowith right there with Carlos Truther. Lars only made minor contact, at least on his side, which means that he didn't lose all too many positions, and the car is still intact. River Page almost up there to the wall again. It's going to be real tricky from here. Dependent on how much these drivers choose to save, or if they decide to go all the way out, that could have either been the final pit stop of the night, even if we go green, or it could be the penultimate. We may expect to see one more stop from here. 58 to go. River Page head-to-head with Jacob Wilkerson. Aiden Walker now side-by-side with Chase Schaefer. And for the first time all night long, the 99 has an opportunity for victory. Here comes Schaefer, putting the defense on both Walker and Mosteller, and the two juggernauts have been moved out of the way. Last time we were in Las Vegas, Chase Schaefer won. He's now looking to go 2 for 2 in his final 2 opportunities in Sin City. What a drive up the track for Chase Schaefer. Again, qualifying in the 11th place today. Really didn't look to be the man of man tonight, of course. He's now made it inside the top 10, in the top 5, and when it matters more than anything, Carlos Truther on the wall. Truther slamming the wall. Field avoids him. Coming out of 4, you see him rock the outer portion of the safer barrier. Truther now 12th. We'll see if he hangs on here. He gets back in line and continues on. Nevertheless, Chase Schaefer after nearly a full hour of racing, after almost 100 laps, gets himself up to the premier position. River Page watches by. Daniel Mosteller now is third. Aiden Walker has fallen back into fifth here. Lowest he's been in this battle for a long while. Now, with just over 50 laps to go, you'll see that competitive element is only increasing. Every driver knows, especially those up in front now, this is that last chance for a win. Henry Kaloff side by side further back, but you'll see a peel out. Daniel Mosteller on Jacob Wilkerson. Jacob up high. No longer. It's going to be Demos who surges above him and keeps him right down to the bottom of the track. Chase Schaefer. He's got his hands full, and he's got a lot of drivers relying on him to make the right decisions. But worse yet, he does not have a teammate in this run. Paintbrush Racing to the inside. That's going to be Jacob Wilkerson. Power Smash Infinity Speed Motorsport has River Page and James Thurston. Aiden Walker Designs has two guys in Daniel Mosteller and Aiden Walker himself. Kinnewith and Schaefer find themselves on opposite ends, but they are both equally alone, and it may cost them. "52 laps to go. Single file again, and it looks like at least briefly Chase Schaefer is going to have the opportunity to maintain position without concerning himself all too much with what's going on behind him. Daniel Mosteller now in the 87 car. Well, it doesn't look like he's really losing time per se, but instead, he's gotten a little bit less aggressive. Watch what happens now. 51 laps remaining. Jacob Wilkerson third, River Page fourth, James Thurston is in fifth. And fifth right now, well, that's not an easy spot to maintain either. You'll see pretty clearly that he's got his work cut out for him in defending both the drivers directly on his tail end. Kinnewith and Aiden Walker still side by side. It looks like Aiden's dropping back to the tail end of the lead pack, and from getting that major jump off of pit row, which looked to be perhaps the most important thing he could have done, it hasn't turned out nearly as well as we expect. Coming across the line again, 49 laps to go. Daniel Mosteller toe-to-toe with Chase Schaefer. Now it's going to become an even more heated contest, and you could see pretty clear second place is not going to be contested lightly. Demos got up to first briefly, was not able to stick it, and here comes Jacob Wilkerson. Line after line, it looks like drivers are taking high, then taking low, without any clear confirmation as to what's really best. 48 laps remaining. Chase Schaefer keeps them all at bay, and in a stunning performance, he is still right ahead of them. Lars Kinnewith, 6th place. Qualified on the front row, wasn't able to get himself, of course, up to the top 5 or keep it there. Until now. James Thurston behind, Aiden Walker has dropped further, and you're starting to see the real juggernauts going at it. Chase Schaefer, with 48 to go, has to worry most about Daniel Mosteller, who's putting the power down. Last time by, the field put out, collectively, just about a 31.6 second lap. Fluctuating a little bit by a few hundredths of a second, depends on who you are. But overall, we're not seeing any signs of really stepping off the gas. That might be indicative of an expectation that we will still have one more green flag pit stop cycle from this point to the checkers. 46 laps to go. That's about enough time to be on the borderline of whether or not we're going to see one. Depending on how careful drivers are with saving their stuff, that's the difference maker. If we see some clutching and coasting later on, we might just be able to get away with this being the final run of tire. If not, drivers will head in one more time. Due to the extended length of today's race, drivers were provided with 5 extra tire sets as compared to the usual 3. It looks like at the end of the night, most drivers will still have with them 2 extra sets to go home with. Chase Schaefer, going to be one of them. Lars Kennewith low on Page. River's going to take it very high. It looks like choosing instead to combat with momentum. Rather than making a closely contested fight, River gets away from the issue and puts himself back in front. Strong move there from River, and a veteran choice as well. Now for Wilkerson in the EPI Toyota Supra. All he's got to do is maintain. 43 laps to go. Podium position is his here, but Daniel Mosteller wants the lead. To the inside goes your beginning champion, your defending champion, and the winningest driver in league history. It's his first real shot down there in the last 10 laps, and he wasn't able to make it stick. Chase Schaefer remains ahead in defense. Outside of the top 10, most battles have simmered down. And you'll see here Aiden Smith and Xander McKinney, at least briefly anyway. 42 laps to go. I don't think that's much of a concern. Alexander Balderas, 23rd to 20th. To this point, it looks like up 3 on the day for the Balderas car. Howie Burrows now only 1 lap down, as is Bryce Kohler. Nevertheless, Chase Schaefer and Daniel Mosteller are within 2/10 with 41 laps to go. The home stretch can't come quick enough for the majority of these guys. I'm sure the expectation is now set yourself up for the most important laps. Concern yourself not with what's going on behind you, but instead with what is ahead. And strategy-wise, well, we know exactly what is ahead. The final pit stop run. For most of these drivers anyway, it looks like they have a guaranteed pit stop ahead of them from this point. If they don't save, they will have to make it in again. Drivers last went in about 25 laps ago, and we're going to have to run about 40 more from here. So it's going to be really tricky. You can try and save to go the distance, and maybe that will end up being the winning call. But if we don't get a pit stop, of course, by lap 130 under yellow, I think a lot of guys are going to be actively pivoting their strategy rather than staying comfortable with what they are currently running. Maybe you could say they're making the mistake of being aggressive right now, but I would argue that instead, they're just betting on the most likely outcome. Schaefer around the outside of pit exit, one getting on their way. You take a listen inside the cockpit for Chase right now, you really won't hear any of that aggressive saving. As a matter of fact, he's still putting the power down through the corners just to make sure that he stays ahead of the line more than anything else. Take a listen through turns 1 and 2 and you'll hear more of the same. Now, typically, when these drivers are aggressively saving their tire, you'll hear practically nothing except for the tires squealing through the corner. In those types of situations, we call it clutching and coasting. Right now, drivers are not doing that. Lappers getting out of the way, leaving it pretty clear for the leaders to fight. Daniel Mosteller still toe-to-toe with Jacob Wilkerson. Demos has not quite been able to get up to Chase Schaefer here, and it looks like even if Chase Schaefer is going to go out of the IORA Cup Series without a championship, that tonight might be the night he crowns himself the everlasting victor. I think that is pretty solid compensation for not having a title. We'll see what he thinks at the end of it. 3 wide now for second place. River Page dives to the inside. Talk about a hot shot move from the number 24. River Page moves deep. 36 laps to go, and a run like that keeps him in third, ahead of Daniel Mosteller. Power Smash Infinity Speed Motorsport looking for their final podium as they go 3 wide again. Demos and Walker now actively fighting. Rivers looking to take third in the championship from his teammate in Thurston. And with the way he's running, it looks like tonight very well may be his advantage. Across the line again, Page right now is in third. It looks like Thurston in the 96, well, he finds himself in 7th. Not a bad place to be, but the difference on track is enough where Page has a clear edge. Walker and Thurston separate, but it's going to be Walker and Demos instead, directly on each other. Up high goes Daniel Mosteller, and it looks like now it's going to be Aiden Walker instead who comes out with at least a quicker car. We'll see if it's the winning one in this battle. .34 laps to go. Chase Schaefer 11th up to first, looking to bring it in. Jacob Wilkerson is now 3.5 tenths back in the EPI Toyota Camry. Of course, no longer a Camry, it's instead a Supra. Wilkerson's been with us so long, as we mentioned the Camry, that the IORA Cup Series began during the original Next-Gen era, of course, when we used the Camrys. Then we used the Gen 6 stock cars, moved on to the trucks for half of Season 3, and then made our way to Season 4, bringing back the Next-Gen one final time. For Seasons 5, 6, and this current Season 7, as it stands, of course, the Xfinity car is the car to finish it off. .32 to go. Chase Schaefer seeing one going ahead of him, and you'll see now pit road getting busy. Andres Varas, as you'll see Devins Baker getting service. The anticipation has arrived for the final pit stop cycle of the series. Chase Schaefer and River Page come down together. Wilkerson is now left out as your leader. It'll be a 30-lap dash from here as Schaefer opts in. Jacob Wilkerson, the call on the field for the number 43 car is to stay out, and so he does. River Page beat out by Schaefer, but it won't be by all too much. Now these two will be 1 lap down with 30 laps remaining. Now it's going to be tricky. 30 laps to go. As these two drivers get away, Michael Deitch retires. We're looking to see when the final big contenders opt to go in, as we're looking for Wilkerson, Walker, Mosteller, Kinowith, and Thurston, all of them to make their final call. Is the final call for them to stay out? Or instead, are they going to follow in the ways of Chase Schaefer? Is the right way to do it just making it in? Yeah, so far, I really don't think these guys are intent on staying out the whole distance, because they'd be going for a 60-lap stint, give or take, and nobody seemed to be actively saving in that past run. We're going to take a look inside the cockpit with Daniel Mosteller through turns 1 and 2, and if we listen in, this might give us a better idea as to what's in play. But I'm thinking right now, the long run is out of the picture. Doesn't sound like Daniel Mosteller is saving in case of a last-ditch effort to go the distance. If we listen to Jacob Wilkerson through 3 and 4, it's more of the same. He's going to go down to pit road this time by. In fact, Wilkerson drops it in. Mosteller slides and hustles his way in. Will that be a penalty? Demos gives it every ounce he has and slides together. Daniel Mosteller says OMG in chat, and I got a bad feeling he might have just made the biggest mistake of the race. Mosteller is in. Was that a penalty or not? In the meanwhile, Aiden Walker is down and through. Walker comes with Kennewick for Daniel Mosteller. He's out. It looks like that was a sigh of relief more than it was a sign of embarrassment. Here comes the 87, chasing after Wilkerson. They'll all be watching the battle. Chase Schaefer, who's now far and ahead. Chase has several laps of older rubber. Keep this in mind. He only has 25 laps to go. That's it. 25 from here. And he might find himself the final IORA Cup Series winner. There's James Thurston. Thurston still runs as your race leader as it stands. Henry Kaloff in his 63rd career start will have to go away from this field with one disappointing truth, that he wasn't able to get that victory. And of course that all comes down to whether or not there's a major chaotic circumstance from here. Perhaps his best ever opportunity was just last week, in which he ended up inside the top 5 with 1 to go before chaos struck and a big portion of the field, including Daniel Mosteller, got caught up in a massive wreck. .24 to go. Thurston nearly contact with Tyler Shaw, but he'll make it in. Getting it to the commitment line and getting to the commitment cone. Oh, Tyler Shaw, about as close as you could get without making contact. Luckily, the 104 doesn't hit Thurston on the way in. He'll make his final career pit stop as Henry Kaloff gets a chance to lead laps. Mosteller down and in. Currently, Chase Schaefer and River Page is the battle for the final IORA Cup Series victory with 23 laps to go. Coming up to 22 laps remaining. Next, we'd like to thank our friends at Whiplash SimCams for making tonight's coverage possible with remarkable camera angles through and through. If you've enjoyed tonight's racing, visit Whiplash SimCams, and you can check out their broadcast camera packages, which are free, some of which. Visit their Discord server and you'll learn more about how to get iRacing's most up-to-date camera content for any experience level broadcaster. Thank you to Whiplash SimCams. With 22 laps to go and for the final time in IORA Cup Series history, let's crank it up from Las Vegas. The battle for the win is underway and it's about to get loud in Sin City. It's too close to call with just the noise, so welcome back to the action as Chase Schaefer slots to the inside, gets ahead of River Page once again. The gap is 3.5 car lengths with 20 laps to go this time around. Jason Dodonna remains your race leader as a holdout, but he's expected to come down and in, effective immediately. Henry Kaloff just made it in for his final pit stop. Chase Schaefer has just surged ahead from Page, but is that it? Schaefer got out ahead of River, and it's been the Page team clawing him back in. So far, not vice versa. The Haggard Electrical number 24 is up to the top of the track again. And you can see here, Chase Schaefer nowhere to be seen except ahead. 19 laps to go for the IORA Cup Series. Jason Dodonna leading for the first time this year. And he's trying to keep it out there, hoping for a strategic miracle. Now he has about 12 seconds of interval to save for 18 laps now. Last time by, Schaefer ran a 31.514, and it was a 32.692 for Dodonna. He is more than a second a lap slower, which means that he is in active jeopardy of losing the race lead no matter what. So Chase Schaefer's going to have to go out there and keep on fighting. And it looks like currently that is his active ambition. Schaefer's gotten away from River Page. He got down to the inside with 21 laps to go, but that is not the race lead. The victory ahead is still in jeopardy. Aiden Smith is 3 seconds back on Dodonna here. Looks like he hasn't made all too many gains. Jason Dodonna is hoping that he can hold out just a little while longer. 17 laps to go. Still Jason. River Page goes up to the higher groove, trying to build some momentum up. Daniel Mosteller and Jacob Wilkerson are also in the hunt, and they're looking to get there for the final time. Chase still has the edge. Take a ride on board with River Page now. We'll see what he can do to build up that final shot. But it looks like much like last season finale in Sin City, no one plays cards better than that man, Chase Schaefer. "16 laps remain, as it looks like Jason Dodonna has opted to stay on the circuit again to come to only 15. But this is it for Dodonna. He'll head to the inside of pit road, and it looks like that will bring to an end his laps led for the final time in his IORA Cup Series career. Dodonna is in. Schaefer at the line reclaims the race lead. 14 laps remaining. Jacob Wilkerson just got by for second. And he's coming up like a jet on Chase Schaefer. Just when you thought Schaefer had it made and this final win would be all his, look behind now. The 43 is coming at breakneck pace, and I don't think he's got any sign of stopping. Daniel Mosteller is stalled out now in fourth. It looks like he still has an opportunity to get it into the podium, but Wilkerson is the missile looking for the win. We're coming up on the baker's dozen, and there we've reached it. 13 laps to go. For the EPI Toyota Supra, this is his final opportunity, and he's looking for his first and only win this season. With his back against the wall to deliver a great performance, Jacob Wilkerson has no choice. He'll surge down to the apron again. Chase Schaefer still ahead with 12 laps to go. To the inside, you can't even see him. It's door to door now. Thurston far out of frame, as is Page. Wilkerson's gotten by the teammates. Oh, contact! Aiden Smith into River Page. Caution is out. Lap traffic for the second week in a row gets involved with the leaders late. Are you kidding me? Now take a look at this. Looks like Page coming up, Smith coming down low, and River having none of it. Disposes of Smith here. Daniel Mosteller gains a spot. Smith gets tagged, as does Page on the way out. Fourth caution of the day. So late brings a lot of suspense to the table. Chase Schaefer with an opportunity to head in, and he's going to take it. He'll bring the entire field with him. Jacob Wilkerson to the inside And it looks like he was coming in so strong on Chase Schaefer that minor advantage in tire has been taken away. Watch pit exit now. Let's see who wins the race off. Lars Kinnewith misses his stall. That's going to be critical, and it's going to cost him most likely 3 to 4 spots. James Thurston surges out in the head. Then it'll be Wilkerson, Schaefer, Page, Walker, and Mosteller. James is so far ahead. Well, it's real clear what he just did here. 2-tire strategy. It's in effect. Drivers have been reporting mostly even wear across the day. We've been seeing a little bit more wear on the right side for most drivers. Some like Daniel Mosteller are working the left front hard. And so it depends here. Others like Schaefer saw more even wear across both runs. And it looks like Daniel Mosteller, his biggest vice was he was leaning on the left side. So for Schaefer here, well, looks like he takes the 4-tire, ends up right behind Wilkerson. James Thurston is going to gamble immensely here. Looking to bring not only one final win to his team, but one last win to himself. Eight laps remain. Double file all over again. Any caution after the 5-lap to go point brings us to overtime territory. Lars Kinnewith with a critical error falls back to 12th place on the lineup here. And just missing a stall ever so slightly, as we mentioned, costing him critical spots in the heat of the moment. Now, James Thurston has decided to go the opposite direction rather than losing out. He's going to gain big, and he does so fast enough that he has everyone on their toes. He's been inside the top 10 for a long while now, but he hasn't been the de facto guy to lead it. Now, he's got either the choice of proving he is that man, or he's going to fall back faster than anyone has all night long. 2 tires. In our 4th restart, James Thurston gets his first chance leading. Wilkerson's on the high side. 8 laps to go in the IORA Cup Series. We're back to business, and it's the 96 leading. They fan out as Chase Schaefer goes 3 wide to the inside, making the move on both Wilkerson and Thurston. James is hanging on well through this opening lap, but it looks like now he's got no choice not to ping-pong off the leaders. Limited contact with Wilkerson. Jacob gets away. Great run out of turn 4 with 7 laps remaining. That will keep Schaefer on the inner groove. Thurston is giving it everything he has and maybe a little bit more. He slots ahead of his teammate, but can't keep the position. Meanwhile, Daniel Mosteller looks to the underside of Aiden Walker, 3 wide with River Page. Walker knows here the championship is not in jeopardy for him. Cautions out Devins Baker. Watch this. With 7 to go, we will have 4 laps at most from here. Baker, pulverized. He got loose. The field luckily got away from him. And we will go green after our 5th restart. One more time on board with Baker. Ricocheting off Balderas. And a huge hit there. The motor's blown. Race is over for Baker, as he is now on pit road with Braxton Whitaker. The field settles in again. With stakes as high as they come, Jacob Wilkerson snatches the race lead. Thurston gets a much-needed reset and drops to 3rd maybe one final chance to maintain position, as it didn't look like he was going to hold on to all too much of it beforehand. What can Jacob do now? We were seeing 3 wide all over the course of that battle, and it looks like every driver is as eager as they can be, of course, to make moves and make it far from an easy fight. Whether you're Wilkerson fighting for first or Daniel Mosteller fighting for 5th here, all of these positions are so immensely valuable that there's no reason not to give up the shot, and instead just keep digging in. Coming to 1 lap to green this time by. As a result, we're going to see a 3-lap shootout. This does not count as our green-white checkered. Any yellow flag after this will send us to one of 3 overtime attempts. However, it stands very likely with the time we have remaining that this will be the final restart in league history. Jacob Wilkerson with the honor of starting it. We'll see if he ends up the man leading at the end of only 4.5 miles. Chase Schaefer, River Page, and Daniel Mosteller all go up high. Jacob Wilkerson will be followed by James Thurston and Corbin Collins down low, perhaps one of the underdogs of the day. With 20 on lead lap, going back to Cooper Glick, very few remain in active contention. And yet any one of them could come out a winner. One last chance. Here we go. With history on the line, 135 races, this being the last of which every driver knows the stakes. With 3 laps to go, time's running out. Aiden Walker bobbles to the inside until the accordion starts, but Jacob Wilkerson surges through. 3 laps remain. The sun, beaming across the number 43 car, sees an open end. He's about 1/10 of a second up on Schaefer. Side by side, Mohamed Omir and Corbin Collins. River Page rips out of the top side of the circuit. 3 wide behind. Kinowith, Mosteller, Alexander Balderas to the inside. He's in the grass. He's coming back up the circuit. Caution's out. We're going to overtime. Watch this. An incident coming to 2 laps to go brings us to another standstill. And it looks like the 95 of Balderas is involved, as we will end this series under overtime conditions. Coming between Henry Kaloff, tagging the number 63, going low with the 94 of Cemento. They hit each other and came back up the track. Luckily for Balderas, he didn't hit anyone else. Jason slams the wall up top. We will pull it together again with even less time. It'll be only 2 more laps. This is our first of 3 overtime attempts available. When we get to the white flag, the race will conclude. However, yellow flag means that we extend this race for our second overtime. Now, it's highly likely based on what we just saw that we do see a second overtime, but if the white flag comes out at a capacity, the race is over. 2 laps to green for Jacob Wilkerson. Jay Schaefer remains in second. And he hasn't yet been able to get back to Wilkerson. Jacob got a remarkable start in that one. And had it only been a 3-lap shootout as we expected, without a caution, it's very likely he would have pulled away and gotten the victory. So he's getting pulled back down to earth all over again. The biggest issue for him, of course, is what's he going to do now? Got a great launch last time by, but it came thanks to a horrible start all the way around. I mean, you saw Aiden Walker implode. Walker, in the 93, is now in 17th place and on pit road. And it looks like for him, his race-winning chances are over. He's just trying to get back out on the racetrack. Leaders are coming around. 1 lap to green. Walker should be able to continue on, and yes, he will, but you can see that back end is coming apart. While not torn out the frame just yet, Aiden Walker has an ailing Chevrolet Camaro, and he's going to put himself back on the track one final time just to finish the season here. If you've enjoyed tonight's coverage so far, make sure to leave a like on the stream, subscribe to the channel. We got a lot more coverage than just IORA on Thursday nights, and a lot of these drivers will be making the move on to the Sunday Night Schumacher Racing League. We'd love to have you tune in as well. It's going to be an exciting era for FTN. Of course, bittersweet to lose the IORA Cup Series, but a lot of great action will continue to come your way. Jacob Wilkerson is set up on the bottom, and he is in a great position now to get the launch and get the win. But the field is going to hold them honest very quick here. They won't make the same mistake. For your first overtime, the iRacing pace car is down and away. Wilkerson and Chase Schaefer will go head-to-head through the restart zone. It's no match. Jacob Wilkerson's got it made. Page to the inside, gets to the bottom of the 99. 2 laps to go. Welcome to a green-white checkered run in Las Vegas. River Page has himself firmly in second. Kenowith, 2 restarts to go, was in 12th, off the back of missing his pit stall. Now, Lars is in 3rd, and he's looking for River Page. Schaefer bobbles big, he'll get in the wall. Final lap in IORA Cup Series history, Jacob Wilkerson leads us to the whites. Just behind is River Page. Page is now looking for a shot. Jacob got out so well on that first lap, but he doesn't have the run down the back straightaway. Into turn 3, Kenowith turns Page. Lars Kenowith up the circuit. Jacob Wilkerson far and away your race leader. For the final time in league history, Jacob Wilkerson wins in Las Vegas. And coming across the line amid the chaos is the 93 of Aiden Walker. The field blows up behind, and Walker, after finishing 17th, will come away in IORA Cup Series champion, the 5th ever driver to receive the award, And he does it in dominating fashion. 4 wins this season. And with his back against the wall, he goes against Daniel Mosteller, the defending champ, the winningest driver, and becomes a legend of his own. Aiden Walker, Season 7 champion. Burning it down, Walker, Wilkerson, and league owner Mason Moriarty. The entire field is celebrating one more time. Take a listen. It doesn't matter where you finished, how long you've been racing, or what this league means to you. At the end of the night, it's a celebration for each and every one of those on the track. Not a driver in this field not celebrating, knowing there will never be another race like this. There is your champion in Aiden Walker, still tearing it down. His motor is blown, as has Moriarty's. And so has Jacob Wilkerson's. Rookie Ryan Kwan, Josh Gallagher, and Jason Cimento coming up to the champ. And they're going to push Walker back all the way. Aiden Walker will be given one final lap. So many drivers have blown their motor or destroyed their cars. Walker's one of them. But your final champion will get to go out with grace. Elijah Innes in the train now. Walker gets one more lap in his career. At 100 miles an hour, it might not be race pace, but it'll be enough to bring him through. Innes at the line brings Walker home. There's race winner Jacob Wilkerson, and there's nothing left of that 93. Daniel Mosteller slides in and meets up with the champ. Between these two drivers, 4 championships. And a moment like this could go on forever. They're going to pull Walker around the field in reverse, or they'll try to. They put him up in the wall. For the final time, Jacob Wilkerson wins, leading 16 laps. The IORA Cup Series finale over Lars Kinnewith in second. You'll have Corbin Collins in third, and Jacob Wilkerson, of course, gets a P1. Collins getting his final podium in his career. Daniel Mosteller leading 82 laps, and the 87 goes fourth. Jason Gallagher in fifth, Daniel Salo sixth, Henry Kaloff in 7th place, and 8th goes Chase Schaefer, with 9th them being Jason Semedo and Michael Cormetis coming away with his final career top 10. 11th place on the order goes Mohamed Omir, Tyler Shaw 12th, Aiden Smith 13th, Elijah Innes 14th, Alexander Balderas 15th, James Thurston 16th, Aiden Walker 17th, Jason Dodonna P18, Cooper Glick 19th, and Xander McKinney in 20th. River Page, Hudson Sangster, Bryce Kohler, Ryan Kwan, Will Shack, Christian Delgado, and Devins Baker 27th down. Then you'll have 28th and Andres Varas, 29th and Howie Burrows, and Michael Deitch 30th, with Pravin Vijaykumar 31st, Braxton Whitaker in 32nd, 33rd and Wayne Kennedy, 34th, then Carlos Truther, Aladam Contreras, the 35th and final driver today, and Mason Moriarty getting on track briefly for the one-lap salute and the final burnouts. Your last champion has been crowned. Your last race winner has been given his checkered flag. We'll speak to the champ first, and we'll speak to everyone we can on the way down. But first, the man of the hour himself, Aiden Walker in the 93, who might not have come away with the best of race finishes, but to end his IORA Cup Series career, he comes away a champion. Aiden, the season has come to a close, and to end your career here, you've just won a title.
Yeah, not the greatest way to finish a race. Just had to stack up on a restart, which got caught off guard with that, and had the incident as Demos was about to hit me. Ow. Yeah, overall, really great season. Just kind of sad that it's the final season and things, so sadly, I can't say we gotta move on to next week or next season. So, I just want to thank Mason for just bringing back this league to just an incredible state after what it used to be when we kind of had the league start falling apart back in like season 3 or something like that. I just can't believe the work he's done in this. He's done great with everything. Of course, everyone's growing up and things, so just I think it's about time that we needed this at this point because everyone, like I said, is growing up and all that. So overall, really great season. Happy to finally win a championship in this series after multiple heartbreaks. So gotta thank my sponsors, Hyperco, Cogdell Motor Company, Blue Line Tennessee, Lively's Custom Diecast, and of course the FTN Broadcasting channel. While yes, we won't have IORA on the FTN, I don't know if we're doing the next series, but just gotta thank David for you just doing great work on all these broadcasts for about almost 3 years at this point. I think over the 3 years at this point. So, of course, I guess I'll let you, for one final time that I know of, go through the broadcast for the next week.
We've got Schumacher Racing League on Sunday. We've got the Integrity Racing League on Monday and Tuesday nights. And we're bringing back Saturday Night Thunder, where I'm sure we're going to see a lot of IORA guys making the step over as well. And that'll be starting again this Saturday. Aiden, how was the race for you? Before we even get back to your championship here, could you walk us through what it was like out there one final time? Again, the ending of the race didn't go the way you wanted to, but either way, still works out for the championship. What was the game plan for you today?
Really just finish, because I looked at the standings earlier today. All I had to do was finish, I think 24 for better. So that was really just my main goal. And that was with Demos getting max points, which of course he didn't get that today, especially with me getting pole and things. So pretty much that was main goal for tonight, just trying to at least be in a position where I know I will lock the championship. Well, yes, I would have liked a good finish off to the season. I think it's probably for the best that it went like this. Because I felt like it probably would have been worse if it's like, I tried staying out and got stuck midfield because I had rear end damage after that restart and fell back to like 14th, but I knew, okay, I just need pit here and just make sure I don't gain more damage or get completely wrecked because the next person that was in like the 24th position or something like that, because I was just making that my hard position to where no matter what, if I fall under that, I have a feeling I might lose it. Um, so that was really just my main goal, is just to at least just be in a safe spot to where, if I do have, if something does happen, like a massive wreck, which we did happen, will have happened on the white flag there, I will be fine because I could at least have room to either check up or, actually avoid it. Where I feel like if I was midfield, I feel like I probably wouldn't have been as good of a position to not get involved in a wreck. So, well, yes, not happy with the 17th tonight. Just happy to at least come home with a championship. So,
And even though the race maybe not going to your expectations there, Aiden, the championship, it is yours. You've been with us for several seasons now, and it all comes to a close on this final night, and we're going to leave it to you to, of course, finish it off. You're a Season 7 champion, and you're found the final world to conquer here in IORA. Is there anything else you'd like to leave us with before your next race?
again, I just want to thank Mason one more time. After, no offense to Alex, obviously, but when we got into Season 3, that was when the league started falling apart with some things, and Mason took over, I think, in, like, late Season 3 or Season 4, and just the work he's done, like I said, is just absolutely amazing. Um, just kinda it's kinda sad to see this league go.
Aiden Walker in the boat of so many tonight, and we're finally seeing an era come to pass. And at least for your case, Aiden, you come away a champion and a 4-time winner at the end of the road. Thank you, Aiden, for your time, and congratulations on winning the Season 7 championship among the best of the best.
Thank you.
Walker is on the way, and your winner tonight, Jacob Wilkerson, a part-timer. Well, he didn't have the championship dream, but regardless of that, he'll come away on top. Able to make those last restarts count. Nobody could get by the EPI Toyota in the clutch. Jacob Wilkerson, your final IORA Cup Series win. The final IORA Cup Series win. What a victory to take hold of tonight in Las Vegas.
Oh yeah, thank you. It's this out of all my wins in this league, I feel like this one is the sweetest one. Like, I wanted to win this race so badly, specifically because it's the last race in this league, and I went into this race with a lot of confidence, knowing that last season, with this combo, I finished second and came close to the championship. Even though this season I didn't run full time, I just ran part time, but it feels so good to win the last race in this league.
And getting that final run to the checkered flag, of course, what a bittersweet feeling it is. We'll talk first and foremost. You qualified 6th today, and you were up with that group of guys who led for the majority of the race. The first 100-plus laps were mostly green flag racing, but things got divided time after time. It became clear pit road may be a little bit more important. Did you adjust at all your strategy in that sense?
The whole race, I was just focusing on running my own pace and saving my tires. And on the last pit stop under green, I pitted. I waited about like 3-4 laps after Schaefer and River pitted, and I knew I was gonna catch him before the race, the end of the race, if it went green, which I did. I was already about to pass Schaefer under green until the caution came out, and then that's when my mindset changed. It's like, okay, I just need to try and run some of the fastest laps here, like in the race. Like, I've never really been fast over the short run. I was mainly more of a long run type person, so I just tried to run as fast as I could on the short run, and ended up getting the lead, and ended up not looking back.
And there was no way to catch up once you took it. It was yours, Jacob. And so you finish off a remarkable career. Mostly part-time, you've had quite a few memorable moments and a few victories in between. When looking back on your performance here in IORA, how would you describe it, and what will you miss the most?
I just, it's sad to see this league come to a close, but like, I've enjoyed some moments in this league. Last season was definitely my best season running full time. Like, most of the races I've done here or have really just been me running part time in most of the seasons. But yeah, it's been fun while it lasted, and yeah.
Jacob Wilkerson, the final ever IORA Cup Series winner, getting it done in Las Vegas. If you have anything else you'd like to add after this victory, make sure to let us know. Of course, with winner's honors, we'd love to hear it.
Yeah, appreciate you for broadcasting along with the fans watching the stream, and most importantly, shout out to May for doing everything he's done for this league after taking over during like around season 3, I believe. He's done maybe one of the best league owners I've seen, and it sucks that the league is shutting down, but shout out to him for everything he's done. Want to shout out to Zach Todger for letting me race for PBR along with my teammates, and Race CPI if you're looking to run open setup racing, go to their website and you'll find the fastest eNASCAR sets out there. And yeah, appreciate everyone else for racing. And yeah.
Jacob Wilkerson, winner from Las Vegas. Thank you once more for your time and congratulations on this final ever victory.
Thank you.
With Wilkerson on the move, we'll bring up second place, Lars Kinowith. And perhaps most bittersweet for the number 11, once again, one step off victory, Lars. So close in your final ever start, but again, you bring it back to the top 3.
Yeah, I mean, it's just about how my whole season's gone. My right rear, basically, like first entire half of the race, it was just, I couldn't keep it under me. I kept sliding out of turn 4 almost every lap. And then missed my pit box early on. That didn't help. I lost like probably 15 spots. Tried making it back up through like the first green flag run. I think I made it up to like 8th. Then that caution came out towards the end of the first of them. I was in like a 7th. Missed my pit box again. And then yeah, it's just a bunch of cautions came out at the end. I had a lot. My car was great on the short run. I had a lot of grip, and I just passed the other cars. But River Page, he was trying to go for a move at the end. I was trying to pass him on the inside, and then we just sort of got together, and then yeah.
The final opportunities for victory for you anyway came with those last restarts. When looking back on them, especially that overtime restart, you think there's anything else you could have done?
No, I think I did it about as well as I could have. There was got pretty lucky when Thurston tried to time it up, but then the entire inside row just checked up, went to the inside, passed them both, and then I think I pretty much played the restarts perfectly. Maybe on the very last restart, if I was just a bit more aggressive, maybe I could have gotten past Page. I don't know. I don't think there is much I could have done other than not miss my pit box 2 times that race.
The difference may be on pit road, but with a critical resurgence from 12th up to 2nd in the final 10 laps, Lars, you take home the final ever 2nd place finish. We don't have a next week to look at, but until you see us again at FTN Broadcasting, anything else you'd like to leave us with?
I'd like to thank Mason for running this entire league. It was a lot of fun this season. I'd like to thank Mohammed Omir. He brought me into this league. I wouldn't be running this today if it wasn't for him. And yeah, I want to thank everybody who's been a part of this league. This is really fun.
P2 at the line, Lars Kinowith, 2nd place from Las Vegas, and another podium finish to end the number 11's campaign in the league. Thank you for stopping by. With one final driver on the podium, Corbin Collins gets hot when it matters most, and the 2nd season full-time driver returns to the top 3. Let's get a word now from Corbin. If he's available, it looks like right now he is not. We're going to contact him and see where he is. Looking for a copy from Corbin Collins. and trying to confirm his availability. If not, we will move on because we have a few special request interviews that drivers would like to take. For the time being, it looks like the number 71 has moved out of his desk, and so it looks like, for the time being, we're going to get on the way. Jason Semedo would like to take an interview, and so it looks like the driver, the 94, we'll hear from him very briefly here. Jason Semedo coming in as a team owner for Corbin Collins, and a little bit of representation, even though the number 71 has not yet been able to get back to us. Well, Jason, your team sees one more podium to end its IORA Cup Series tenure.
Yes, very good race. First off, I want to start by thanking you and thanking Mason for one, a good league to us for the past 2 seasons, and 2 amazing broadcasts. But yeah, it's been a good day for RDM as a whole. Uh, I see that Elijah started out in the top 5, was up there running front. Same with Corbin, Durr, Aiden, all of them. Even though they had their troubles, they kept fighting, and even me starting dead last and working my way all the way back up to 10th. So it was a good day for all of us, I would say.
Double top 10s for the team, of course. We got our eyes fixed on Corbin as we're going through the podium lineup. But for you as well, Jason, you took 9th place. Were there any adjustments the team made to get yourselves ready for this race? It looks like you came out swinging tonight.
Not any adjustments really, just leaving it all on the line. Last race for a really good league that we enjoy. So just leaving it all on the line, not taking any slack, just going forward with what we can do.
Now, of course, no other race to go at after this point for the team, of course, in IORA anyway. The Fair World Tour is coming up for the rest of the summer. You think you guys will be coming back to race it?
Oh, for sure. We will all definitely be there for the Farewell Tour because we still want to end it out with either getting a win or just be there for the Farewell Tour.
One more stretch. When it comes to points-paying races, perhaps one of the best ways for a team to finish it off. Corbin Collins takes 3rd, and Jason Semedo takes 9th, as it's going to be double top 10s for your organization, Jason. Anything else you'd like to leave us with?
Yeah, once again, want to thank you, want to thank Mason, want to thank my teammates, want to thank all the sponsors and everyone that's watching, because, again, I know we do these races and all, but it's really cool that we have a lot of people that watch and enjoy these broadcasts that we get to put on for them. So thank you very much.
Jason Semedo for Corbin Collins gets a word. Corbin takes 3rd, Jason takes 9th, and a thrilling end to their Cup Series careers for both drivers. Thank you, Jason, for your time.
Thank you.
And so on the way goes Jason Semedo. Now we'll begin taking some requests. First and foremost, the 95 of Alexander Balderas we will be hearing from. Balderas was able to squeak away with a 23rd place start and a 15th place finish. Here now is the number 95 driver, Balderas, making his way in for one final interview. For Power Smash Infinity Speed Racing, of course, Floppa Racing as well. Balderas has been a mainstay, and over his career, he won 2 races. And so it comes to a close tonight, Balderas. Welcome back to the broadcast booth one last time.
Well, it's good to be back in the booth with you, David. Whether, it was covering IORA or racing IORA, it's always a pleasure to be here in the booth with you. I think overall, tonight's race was pretty symbolic of how this season has been so far. I think it was pretty good. Had a couple of up and down moments through tonight, but pretty indicative of the whole season, to be honest.
And for you, it looks like some ups and downs as well, gaining 8 on the night. So talking about your race first and foremost, you think there's anything you left on the table?
Yeah, I mean, one of the last Green Light Checkers, I was racing with Cal Hoff, and he went up as I went down a little bit. We were 3 wide with Mikey, and I wasn't quite side by side to just door him and keep him down. It caught him up, and I got involved in the wreck as well. And then what really started my decline was on one of the restarts after our green flag pit stops, that caution that came out. There was some restart games that were played, and not not Demos, but the other Daniel got. I guess he just didn't upshift in time, and I kind of got plowed, and it gave me rear end damage. And it with the current damage model the Xfinity car has, if you have the boulder in the back bumper, you're just not going anywhere. It doesn't matter how much you save your right rear because it's just a loss of downforce. It'll just be loose the whole time. So, just a couple moments I feel like I could have left. I probably could have gotten, I want to say maybe a top 5. I feel like I had top 5 speed and at least knowledge of how to race the people around me. Just a couple of mistakes and we ended up back where we were.
Wrapping up your career, one final top 15, the highlights, the victories in Atlanta, and of course, the very first in Auto Club. When looking back on several seasons of racing here, you've gone at it mostly full-time. Few seasons have become part-time now. You've made the playoffs before. What's the highlight you're going to take away from all of it?
One of the best highlights, obviously, is getting the first win. That will always forever be special. And that one wasn't a super speedway. That was my first win. Was a skill win at Auto Club. Jim got scared trying to battle with Demos. They gave each other penalties, and I just kept my head down, stayed calm, and outlasted the rest of them. And then at Atlanta, I finally got to show my super speedway prowess. I was able to get up to the front, stay in the front, pull some crucial blocks, and with a little bit of help of them going 4 wide behind me, and then them wadding up the field, it kind of handed it to me on a silver platter. I know, but I still one of the highlights of the career being leading the IORA points. I think it was season 5. Being able to lead the points for like 5 races and then finish the regular season in 4th in points, being the best of the rest of the field. Because I know I would never be as fast as, say, Jim Demos or Chase Walker or River. So being up there in the top 6, knowing that I may not be able to get up to them, but being the best of the rest is pretty cool. It's pretty exciting for me. But overall, I feel like I could have done better through my career. I'm glad that this career has seen me progress and improve in my journey on iRacing. It's been there since the start, and it's been here since now and to the end. So I think honestly, it's sad to see it go. I want to see if we can maybe work something out to maybe continue it in the end. But if this is truly the end of IORA, we went out on a bow. We went out on a pretty good ending, and sealing with a top 15 where I would have finished had I been starting early on in season 2. Just same thing. Bad luck strikes us down, but overall, IORA has been such a great experience, and I wouldn't have met so many great people on the sim, and met and grown relationships, year-long relationships with a bunch of other people. So as sad as it is to see it go, there are better things, and a lot of us are moving on in our lives. I mean, I'm going to college, go Cougs, University of Houston. So I think honestly, if it was to keep going, it probably wouldn't have been the same. This is probably the last moment where it would have been as if all of us remember. A lot of us that were young, back 14 when the league just first started, are now legal adults entering up to higher education, getting careers. So it wouldn't have really meant the same, but hopefully, during the little season, I may not have been an IORA full season champion, but we'll be going to the championship during the mini series.
Fighting for that one final title opportunity over the summer, but to end the official career of the 95 team, Alexander Balderas takes a one last top 15. Anything else you'd like to leave us here with, Throttle?
Well, I'm glad that IORA, one of the only leagues to, really feel like I belong, and I'm glad that they were able to give me that opportunity. I was able to get my first league wins with IORA, and the first one's always special. You never forget it. And so I was happy to call myself a winner. I'll forever be in the IORA history books as a 4-time playoff driver and 2-time winner. I won't be upwards of a great champion, but I'll be knocking on the door with the likes of Chase Schaffer and co. So glad to have been on the winner books and glad to have been locked in the history books.
Alexander Balderas, 15th on the day, ending a multi-win career here in Las Vegas. Thank you for your time.
Thank you so much, David.
And with Balderas on the move, we'll bring in some of our final requested guys. First and foremost, as we're going down the alphabetical order, we're going to go with Andres Varas today. Varas in the 84 car, not the best of runs, ended up finishing 28th. And so we'll hear from the first time the 84 crew making its way in. Andres, final career start, 28th place. How was it out there on track?
Terrible. I started fine on the start of the race. I was trying to get towards the top 20, and then the car decided to just started to feel a little bit loose coming out of 4, and pretty much in the lap before I felt that, and then the lap after came out loose and tried to save it, and car just spun. I hate it. I hate it for well. That's the last race. I wanted to finish strong, and I didn't want to pretty much destroy the race of other people. I hate it mostly when I get other people involved more than me, and yeah.
It looks like tonight maybe some more struggles than you would have anticipated, but it ends a career. You've had multiple seasons with us here, of course, shooting to go higher, trying to get more of those top 5 and podium runs. What was it like with this experience in IORA, of course, getting your seasons in and gaining that experience?
I would say IORA gave me a lot of experience in terms of iRacing. I joined back into 2022, and getting into officials and getting into other stuff. Once I saw IORA coming with some people from other places and getting into Discords, they invited me to IORA, and I was at. They said Xfinity is the car. We have the schedule is just starting, pretty much last year, and I was like, you know what, I'll do it. I used to do a lot of officials on B class, and I like to use the Xfinity car. So I was like, all right, let's do it. I try to use IORA as a way to gain experience, but also to have. I started to have fun, but also in the way to gain experience and try to get that clean racing and competitive racing that I wanted to get. And not gonna lie, IORA gave me a lot of that in most of the races. The first season, in 2023. I tried to get into the top 10. I didn't get it, and which pretty much almost got it back in Las Vegas last year, but I didn't get it because of a spawn in the last corner. But then coming to this year, I just decided to go ahead and put in one goal. Pretty much, I decided to put a goal of getting a top 10, rising up there, and well, I was able to get it on some of the races like Pocono and Charlotte. Charlotte was, I would say, my only career best finish, even though Pocono is my first career best finish. Charlotte is my, I would put it because I did a pretty good strategy. I was passing people left and right. If it wasn't for the last caution, I would have gotten that top 5 that I really wanted to. But well, I took it to top 9, and yeah, like, this league has been totally a gain of experience on my part, and I really wanted to go ahead and go with a bank, what somebody will say, and well, I didn't expect the car to be too loose. Even in Kansas, I didn't felt it that loose, but yeah, that moment really caught me off guard, and coming out of force, and well, like I said, I'm sorry to the people that I got involved, and yeah, thank you to IORA, thank you for Mason to put in these spectacular races. I had a lot of fun. Hopefully, well, I would say I wanted a Dover to be one of part of the schedule, and pretty much the first race on the going off on the farewell quote unquote season, will you say. The first race is Dover, so I will try to go ahead and like show myself that I if I'm able to go ahead and like be there in the top 10.
One final set of opportunities. Andres Varas today, 28th, but what's up next on the table is sure to be even more exciting. Any final shout outs you'd like to send out?
Well, shout out to Walker. He deserves to be the winner, the champion. Shout out to Demos that got me into IORA. My teammates Gucci, TCV, who wasn't able to be a part of it, but well, he was part of the early part of the race. Well, my team, Delta Eagle Racing, pretty much doing all the paint schemes for this team all this season, as well as the last season. Sander McKinney, who was pretty much my first teammate in the last year. So yeah, thank you all, and of course, you pretty much to giving us a very good broadcast, and as well as Mason for giving us a very good championship and good league as IORA.
Andres Varas looking for redemption in our finale tour and getting ready for the final opportunity. Thank you for your time.
Thank you.
With Varas on the move, we'll move next to the number 87 of Daniel Mosteller. Well, the championship did not go his way. He comes home second in points. Demos is your most storied driver in league history with 3 championships and in full-time competition, never finishing outside of the top 5 in points. So consistent and so dominant over a 4-year career. For the final time, Daniel Mosteller, it's an honor to have you back here.
Thank you. It's an honor to have you here talking to me today.
And of course, this season, the last of which, full-time, coming to a close. I have to ask you this much. When you look back on your IORA career, first and foremost, you got all the accolades. You have everything a driver could have chased for and dreamed of. When you look at it all, what do you think is the number one thing that stands out from your collective lineup of achievements?
You know, I wouldn't even circle a specific achievement. I wouldn't circle a win. I wouldn't circle a championship. I just think it's how I improved as a driver over the 4-year span. Obviously, helping form this league a little over 4 years ago, I was only on iRacing for a couple of months. I really wasn't that good, but over this 4-year period, I definitely became a lot better. Obviously, having the success that I had early on, but then having the longevity, I think that that's what stands out to me is just the improvement that I've had over this 4-year stretch. Not making me just a better driver in the league, but just overall on the service. Yeah.
Now, you've been with us since the beginning at a point where we didn't even have drivers coming in to race against you. Some races as empty as only one. We end this series with 35 drivers registered to race, and we saw more than 30, more than we saw less than 20 this season. I would say that looking at those numbers and looking at the racing ability, we really went out on top as a league. You think that's the same case?
Absolutely. As you pointed out, we went from, in our first season having as little as one person showing up. I remember the Kansas race from season 1. It was just me running all the laps by myself. If you asked me then if we would have, consistent 25, 30, 35 car fields, I wouldn't have believed it. But both Alex and Mason did an unbelievable job at, shaping the league to what it is, today. Obviously, Alex helping take charge alongside Garrett and myself, but Alex was really the one that put in the work and kept the league running during its early times. And then when Mason took over, he was a pivotal part in making IORA what it is today and shaping the IORA community to what it is today. So just a massive thanks to those two for everything they've done and helping make, in my opinion, one of the best communities on the surface. I mean, the stuff that I see in here, how patriotic we are for the league, I've never seen it anywhere else. That's what just makes IORA special. As a whole, it's sad to see it go, but to go out on top like this, with some really strong fields, some really great racing, that's all you could ask for. And it's been a ton of fun.
There's a different level of pride when you think about IORA and the Thursday nights that we've had all year long, and not only that, so many years consecutively. Thank you again for your time, Daniel Mosteller. Any final shout-outs you'd like to have sent out here?
Yeah, I want to thank you for broadcasting as always. It's been a pleasure to watch you grow over the 4 years from when you first started broadcasting here. You know, with Schulte, yourself, and seeing the how much you've grown over these 4 years with your broadcasting. It's a pleasure to be able to see it in real time and be a small part of it with the interviews and putting on a great product. Thank you again to Mason and Alex for their tenure as league owner here. Without them, as I said, I mean, I don't know if we'd have the IORA that we have today. So thanks to them, all the admins over the years, Chase, James, Walker for his tenure, yourself, Dugan, Braxton. I'm probably forgetting someone. It's been fun to work with them over the years, and it's been fun to see IORA grow. And thanks to everyone for showing up and making IORA so special. Making this league became like a routine for me on Thursdays because of how long it had been going on. When I would show up for this, it'd be a daily routine, and it's just every week. And now, with the ending, it's gonna be different. But we have the thing, the little tournament over the summer to close out the thing, with the league. Um, yeah, I'm gonna miss Iora, but I've made a lot of great memories over here, and I've grown not only as a driver but as a person, and I'm forever gonna be grateful for this, and it's gonna have a special place in my heart.
Daniel Mosteller, a league admin and the field's most celebrated talent with 3 champions, comes home at the end of an illustrious career. Thank you, Daniel Mosteller, for your time and your kind words. We look forward to having you back for the farewell tour.
Thank you very much, David.
With Demos on the way, I mean, what a driver. Let's talk to another man who's been here since the jump, who maybe goes underappreciated. He's been with us so long, and oftentimes doesn't get the props he deserves. It's the 51 of Braxton Whitaker, who has been with us since the very beginning of this league. Whitaker, the man of the hour tonight, of course. We're going to speak to him now as we start another hour coming up on 10 p.m. here. Braxton, welcome to the broadcast booth. You've been with us since 2021. It's been 4 years. How does it feel now? Of course, come to a close.
It's a little bittersweet, I'm not gonna lie. Kind of just looking back, the past couple weeks after we made the announcement that we were gonna shut down, like I've just kind of looked at, how IORA's kind of had an impact on me, and I think on a lot of other people. And I think IORA is something that's, really special compared to what other leagues are, what other leagues have. I think the racing we have is really special, really clean, compared to other, other leagues. Um, and I, hate to see that it's, closing down after you built something so special.
When you look at this league as a whole, you've been here before almost everyone else, back when it just got started, so you've witnessed it from the very early moments to this last one. You've got the perspective of every moment imaginable. Could you walk us through maybe your series timeline and how you saw it all come through?
So, I remember, I think it was like April or May of 2021 or 2022. The next gen car released on iRacing, and I bought it, and I was like, dude, this is awesome. I love this car. And I was following Demos on YouTube, and I saw that he was starting up a iRacing league with the next gen car, and I was like, dude, this is sick. I want to do that. So I got Discord. I downloaded Discord specifically for IORA, and I just started racing with them. And I remember the first race at Legacy Daytona. I think we had like 10 people join, but it was a fun race. But I remember throughout season 1, there was multiple races where it was just me, Demos, and Alex. It was us 3. We would just run together, and that was really fun. I specifically remember the second race of the season. It was Legacy Daytona at the road course, and it was just us 3 running the track, and just slowly throughout like season 1, season 2, we had gone from just us to being able to get 10 people per race. And then past couple seasons, we've been able to get 20. And this season, and specifically, tonight we've been able to get 30. And compared to what we used to have, we would have never imagined something like that. And I think one thing that me and the other admins pride ourselves in is, as a league, we haven't tried to um, make this like the racing entertaining. We've tried to make it specifically for the driver. Trying to make it clean, trying to make sure everything's like fair and stuff like that. So I think we really pride ourselves in that. And overall, I think the league has grown to places that we never expected it to, and personally a little bit proud of that.
And seeing that growth you mentioned, perhaps one of the biggest things that all of us have witnessed coming to the end. It's been a wild ride, but we've only seen better and better. We've only got that farewell tour coming up. Braxton, I know you're very much involved in how that's going to shape out. What are your end goals as a driver when we finish it off?
So I know like 150 official and unofficial races in IORA, and other than like one silly soapbox derby race, I haven't gotten a single win. So I think it's my goal over the next like 6 races throughout the summer, um, is to get my first win. I think there's going to be a bunch of opportunities where I could do that. I know we're going to Talladega, and I know we're going to Legacy Daytona with the next-gen cars, the final race, I think, in August. So I think we got a bunch of opportunities that help us win, and I might try to get some guys to help me, as a drafting partners, whatever. But hopefully I can build some support. We can get that first win.
Braxton Whitaker eyeing one final chance at victory lane with the Summer Series up and ahead. Been here since the start, and we're thankful for each and every moment. Braxton, thank you again for your time.
Yeah, absolutely. David, I just want to thank you. The broadcast that you put on for IORA has been awesome, and I think it's really boosted the amount of people that we've gotten in this league. I think if it weren't for you and the stuff that you're doing, we wouldn't be where we are today. So on behalf of me and the other admins here at IORA, I just want to thank you for everything you've done for us.
Thank you, Braxton. You've been here since the beginning, and we, of course, appreciate all the work you and the entire admin team have brought in making this happen. Thank you again, and hope you have a great night.
You as well.
Whitaker on the way. Kaloff Deitch Racing has 3 drivers that would like to speak to us here in the broadcast booth. The first of which is the 63-time race starter in Henry Kaloff, who comes away 7th in his final career start, eyeing out that first victory, getting quite close in these last 2 races, but another top 10 to end it out. Henry Kaloff in the broadcast booth. One more time, looking for final confirmation here. The 63 just jumped out of the way as soon as we got him. Looks like he'll be coming back, just making sure his microphone works. '63 of Henry Kaloff, 7th place in his final start after 63 starts. It looks like for the time being, as Henry Kaloff has an internet problem, we'll keep our way moving and head out to the next interviewee. And that will be Michael Deitch. So Deitch in the 17 we'll hear from right now. Kaloff resetting his stuff, and it'll be the Deitch team. Number 17, we're hearing from now. Final start, of course, Michael Deitch, 34th to 30th on the day. Maybe not the best of efforts for this team, but still making it back out to the racing circuit. How was it out there in your last ever start?
I gotta say, man, it was a bittersweet time being out there because this was actually the first league that I found back in 2021, and I have been here ever since. Whether it's for like the full season or something smaller like I did this year, this was the one of the leagues I was in throughout my entire time at college, and yeah, to see it end is really bittersweet.
And you mentioned you've been with this league for the better part of these last 4 years here, so you've been here for a long while. You've worked with Kaloff Deitch Racing, getting a team together, and seeing some success on that team level, especially. How was it for you building up that connection, eventually becoming a co-owner of a pretty big team?
It It was really unexpected, to be completely honest, because I was always helping Henry and some of his guys with providing setups for other leads. Always racing like pretty much every night for what it seems like. I didn't think I'd be thrusted into a co-owner role, but here we are, and we've been able to do a whole lot with it since we got this going. And I think that with how much we've progressed as a team over the last few months, just speaks volumes of like what happens when iRacing connects people like that. So I think we've made great strides over the last few months.
And now, with only one final chance for the KDR guys in that super speedway run, of course, shall we say, the farewell tour, including super speedway races and some tracks we haven't gone to in a long time, you think the final goal for you is to go out there and chase that victory, or is it just going to be working with the team?
I think both, because we want to work together as a team, of course, but at the same time, we also want to try and win it for ourselves individually. And me, of course, I've never won an IORA, and yeah, it's a farewell tour. We want to end off our time in IORA on a good note, and just do the best we can every week.
Michael Deitch, 30th on the day today. Even though this Cup Series tenure, maybe not the best of endings, there's still a bright future right up next. Anything else you'd like to add?
First off, I wanna thank you, man, for putting these races on YouTube every week. And we've been doing this little collab where I've been putting the FTF stuff on our KDR cars, and from one Long Island guy to another, because I know you in Baldwin, it's been really fun to collab like this, and I hope we can keep that going. Big thanks to Mason for just just stepping into the owner role for this league. I always enjoyed racing here, even though I was the most competitive. So I want to thank him for just keeping it together for this long. And thanks to all the KDR guys for coming in and out every week. And we, obviously, we're not going anywhere for a while. We're doing a little fun summer series with that SNT. We're still racing pretty much every day, it seems like. But yeah, our time as a team is far from over.
So it looks like now only just the beginning for Kalof Deitch Racing. Been about a year together now for this partnership, and only up and up from here. Michael Deitch out of New York, thank you again for your time. We hope to see you back real soon.
You too, David. Thanks.
With Deitch on the way, we'll bring back for the second time now Henry Kalof in the 63. 7th place on the day in your 63rd and final start, Henry. And it looks like you were with us for almost half of IORA's official races. How about that? 2 seconds off the victory tonight, and while you couldn't capture that elusive checkered flag, you gave us quite a few strong performances.
Oh yeah, I mean, let's be honest. My team wouldn't exist if it wasn't for IORA. I wouldn't have been a better driver. It's just a lot of things would have not been possible without IORA, and so it's been awesome. I mean, I never won a race, never finished on the podium, but I mean, at the end of the day, I don't really care about it. It's just when you get to know the people, it means so much more. So to become better friends with a lot of people, I've had some people or other drivers join our team and help us out a ton. So, I mean, at the very beginning, it was just me, and we've gotten some great people over the past couple years. And so, yeah, I mean, it's gonna be tough not having IORA. I'm gonna miss the days of coming home from school, grabbing a quick bite to eat, and going racing. So, I mean, it's been certainly fun, and I will certainly miss these days of running an IORA, running against some of the best, to be honest. A lot of these drivers I watch race on YouTube all the time, and I'm like, man, maybe I could do this. So it's been awesome, and I never would have thought to have gone to 63 starts, which ironically is my number. So, yeah, but it's been awesome for sure, and I can't thank Mason enough, and you as well for broadcasting all the league races and all the admins and drivers for making it all happen. It's been an incredible journey, and as Michael said at the end of the interview, our team's been going on the up and up, and we're getting better every day as a team. So I think we've got a lot of cool things coming up, and let's hope for the best.
And for the team, of course, you had up to 5 drivers at the same time on the circuit this year. We saw Talladega bringing out quite a big field, actually more than 5, right? It was up to 6.
We were gonna have Corey race, but he had some come up last second. But yeah, we were gonna have 6 at Talladega, and unfortunately, believe it or not, I mean, I might as well tell everyone here, but we were gonna field, or at least try to field like 10 cars at Daytona next season. But since there's not gonna be a season A, that's not gonna happen. So, oh well, just the way it goes. But yeah, we've had a lot of awesome drivers come along on the team, especially Michael. He's been a very key role in our team. Getting a lot of drivers as well. Aaron Chugel, Corey Lyles, Hudson Sangster, Asher Bunkley, and Michael Hormetis for sticking along for our team, even through the highest of highs and the lowest of lows. So, it's been great getting to know them all really well. And so, I mean, again, we've never won, but that's all right. At the end of the day, we're able to look back on the races and be grateful that we were in the race itself, race against a lot of competitive drivers for sure, and we'll see where our journey goes next.
Now, of course, it comes to an end of these Thursday nights, but we've seen you on other FTN broadcasts, including the Schumacher Racing League. Until you meet us again here in the broadcast booth, anything else you'd like to add, Henry?
Well, first and foremost, I'd love to thank my Lord and Savior Jesus Christ. Has been a very key role in my life for sure, and I also want to thank my family and friends for supporting our team and supporting my ambitions as both a driver and a team owner. So this is my first and only time being interviewed after a IORA race, so it's pretty awesome to be up here. But yeah, I'll definitely stick around for S&T now, SRL on the part-time basis, maybe a couple other leagues. We'll see. You never know.
7th place on the day to end your IORA Cup Series career here at the Season 7 finale. Henry Kaloff brings it to a close in Las Vegas. Thank you again for your time, Henry.
Yep, thanks so much.
And one final driver we'd like to hear from the KDR guys, that would be Hudson Sangster in the number 42. He's the last of which, and as you see, tonight Sangster getting back onto the circuit, finishing 22nd on the day. Although it looks like right now, yep, he's good to go. We'll bring him right in. Sangster coming in with us, 1 lap down, 22nd, Hudson. How was it out there?
Sorry, you cut out. Can you say that again, please?
Well, finishing off your IORA Cup Series career in the Cube Design Cube Graphics car, making it back to the racetrack and getting some solid laps under you. How was it out there?
It was a rough day. I was chasing storms earlier, and then I got home just in time, and my laptop wasn't there. And I found my laptop right before qualifying, and I got damaged early, and I was like 2 laps down for the most of the race. I got to 1 lap down with 10 to go. And actually, in that last overtime restart, I came across the line 8th, but since I was a lap down, I got 22nd. It's just rough, because I found out the best line right at the end, but it's just too little too late. I don't know. IORA's been awesome. It was my first season. I was really excited for next year, so it's a shame, but it's been awesome to make a bunch of friends here.
And of course, a rookie season, so only getting a few opportunities on the racetrack. And while not a full-time driver, we saw quite a bit of you. What was your favorite memory out of the season you had?
Watkins Glen was fun. I love road racing, and Watkins Glen, that was fun. I beat my tires up. I was running 4th at one point, and then I finished 9th because I died at the end. But, I mean, it was fun. IORA, that's how I found KDR. That's how I became friends with so many people like Henry and Michael and all of them. And it's just, IORA, believe it or not, is the first league I found, right? And so it's just, I think Watkins Glen was the most fun. I ran 6 races, and Watkins Glen was definitely the most fun I had. Kansas, I got 7th. I remember that, because Henry convinced me to buy the track with like 2 hours before the race. But I don't know. I think Watkins Glen was the most fun, just ripping around that track and running at the front with the top guys.
So if there's any chance maybe to bring it up, get yourself a top 5 finish, a race victory, it lies ahead of us. And that will be with the farewell tour. You got yourself any expectations for you and the team as you head forth?
Honestly, not really. I mean, I just want to have some fun. It's a farewell tour, you know. It's like it's not points pain. We're all just gonna go out there and have fun. I'll be ripping it up and seeing what I can do, but I'll be having fun. I think you broadcast Saturday Night Thunder, right?
Right.
So yeah, I'll be doing that league next year. I'll be a rookie in that league, and we'll see if I can do some stuff there. But the farewell tour will just be, just having some fun with my friends, you know.
And for the 42 crew, one last time out here, but maybe the first of quite a lot on FTN and beyond. Saturday Night Thunderbound, Hudson Sangster. Any final comments or shout-outs you'd like to send out?
He would make awesome designs, and there's this guy on Instagram named Sangster Chasing. He has some awesome weather content. Thank you for everything, David.
Hudson Sangster, 22nd tonight from Las Vegas. Thank you once more for your time.
Thank you. Have a good night.
The final requested interview we're going to take is the number 14 of Devins Baker. Baker going from 28th to 26th on the day, so not the best for the 14 team. But we'll bring him in regardless. Devin coming through one final time in a TikTok Toyota Supra. You've been with us now for several seasons, Devins. Of course, a veteran, having a lot of time on the racetrack, and this concludes your tenure in IORA.
Oh yeah, it's a lot of fun. Had a lot of difficulty. I don't really have a lot of experience with this car. It's mainly the reason why I struggled. But through it all, it's been a lot of fun. I've been seeing how I progressed, and actually had a season goal just to make the playoffs. Actually, and made as much consistent as possible. And we did that, but leading up to the playoffs, I kind of just floundered my way in.
And it looks like this season, of course, we've seen part-time, more or less. You've been with us, however, for all of the Xfinity Series era, and you put in some strong performances as well. While not up with one of the big team groups overall, you've had yourself out there as an individual for a long while now. You think there's one race you look back on that was outright your best?
I want to say Talladega of last season. Finished well in the top 10. Just being careful most of that race, and then in the last 20 I decided, just push it, just see where it goes, and miss all the wrecks, and just went across the top 10. I think also a Phoenix too of last season too. That was awesome. Didn't even expect to get a top 5 there. I think that's my only top 5 to date.
Even as the Cup Series comes to a close, and that might be your final top 5 here, the Farewell Tour exists as one last opportunity, Devins. You think you'll be back to go at it once more?
Definitely will. Been working a lot. My schedule has not been kind for me to actually just practice as much as I would love to, and try to learning on track the day of the race is kind of a bit hectic, and it definitely shows that that I could definitely do a lot better, just if I had enough time, just days ahead. But yeah, definitely have an opportunity. Auto Club, I don't want to miss that one. Talladega, I definitely don't want to miss that one too either. Those are my strongest tracks. I love the wider tracks. Anywhere I can make passes or just play a little conservative, then just make a game plan. I can definitely feel like I have a shot.
One final ride this summer for the 14 team. Devins Baker stopping by. Any final comments you'd like to leave with us?
Yeah, I'd like to thank you for calling these awesome races over the years. Mason for holding these races all together, and having me race anywhere, anyway, anytime I can. And I'd like to give a shout out to my partners, Dami and Adama, my friend Fluff, my brother who's actually watching right now, my brother Kai, and my friends Travis. Yeah, you guys are rock stars. I really appreciate you guys. Love you all. Oh, and my mom too. Jeez, I almost forgot my mom. But yeah, thank you guys for supporting me, and really appreciate it.
Devins Baker finishing the job tonight in Las Vegas for his final start in Sin City. Thank you for your time.
Thank you.
And lastly, as we've heard from all these drivers on way of request, the final driver we have to hear from is the number 22 of Mason Moriarty. Now, Moriarty found himself off the racetrack this year as he was for the past 3 seasons, but he took over as our league owner and did a remarkable job with that role, and so we have him here today as we bring to an end the IORA Cup Series. What a remarkable run it's been, and of course, the best of which is the racing has only gotten better and better for these guys until the very end here, Mason, and so it comes to its conclusion tonight.
Yeah, I mean, yeah, it's pretty incredible what this league has come to. You know, when I started racing, I started racing at the end of season 1. I mean, we had decent numbers, but it's pretty crazy to think of where we've come, how far we've come, and how everyone in the league has grown together. And it's been an amazing community and an amazing group of people that it's going to be a shame to see leave, but yeah, stuff happens and lives change, but yeah.
And from season 4, where this league was in complete rebuild, just coming off of season 3, which didn't end the best for anyone, to what we're looking at right now, with over 30 drivers registered for the day, 35 in fact, who came out to start. And it looks like for you, of course you weren't one of them, but you saw such a great field, and you had so many times where these drivers came out consistently to such a degree. I would like to think from your perspective, you saw the growth, and it was a wonderful thing. Could you walk us through what it was like making it all happen?
Yeah, I mean, it really is incredible. You know, season 4, we really went into rebuild mode. I mean, we took 5 months off from the gap between season 3 and season 4. You know, completely new logo, we revamped everything. You know, we went from 25-week seasons down to 15 because we noticed, like, right around the week 15 mark, we were cutting down attendance and trying to avoid summer and winter break because that's when people are going on the most trips. But I mean, yeah, we've done a lot of work. The penalty points, we revamped the drop week or the LPP system. This year we even had our own custom points format. Yeah, we've come a long way from needing a fast repair to the past couple seasons us running without a fast repair. And then of course the laps back too. I mean, that was a big change of the season of not letting people get unlimited laps back. They could only get to 1 down, and I think that helped a lot too, that and the fast repair. But yeah, I mean, we definitely had our ups and our downs, but at the end of the day, this league has grown into something incredible, and I'm forever grateful for all the people in and surrounding the league that have supported me and that have supported each other through the past couple years.
Mason Moriarty bringing to an end a wonderful tenure as owner and 4 years of Cup Series racing from IORA. Before we let you go here and move on to our final unofficial races with that farewell tour, is there anything else you'd like to add?
I just like to say thank you to all the drivers, all the people that showed up every week when they could, even if they just showed up once, even if tonight was their first race, even if they haven't raced in 6 seasons. I want to say thank you to everyone who participated in this league. And, you know, at the end of the day, it couldn't have been done without all the drivers and all the members and the people that surround this league. Thank you to you, David. Thank you to my admin team. They've been a lot of help. Thank you to everyone who helped out with graphics and broadcasts. And yeah, just thank you to everyone.
Mason Moriarty making such an important contribution as a league owner, bringing the IORA Cup Series from what it was to perhaps the best it's ever been and going out on that high. Thank you again for all your work here, and thank you for your time.
Thank you so much, David.
And so it comes to a close. We've heard from just about everyone. Mason Moriarty, your league owner. Third place, Corbin Collins. Lars Kinnewith, who finishes in second today. Jacob Wilkerson, your winner. And Aiden Walker, your Season 7 champion. We've gotten a word from just about each and every driver, and it has been a remarkable tenure in the IORA Cup Series. You look back to where it started. In May of 2021, it began with just one race at the virtual Daytona International Speedway. It was hosted under 100 laps, short for our standards now, and Garrett Mitchell was the very first ever winner. From that point onward, we started our side series. We didn't just have the Cup Series. Daniel Mosteller, who won the first ever championship, Michael Cormetis, who finished that season off a winner. It was the first of Demos's 3 titles. Then you had the Pro 4 championship. Daniel Mosteller won it. Walker won the final race, as seen here. Next up, you had the Formula 1 title, which ended up folding early. Ethan Stanley, the juggernaut, who came out with it. Then that full focus in Season 2 as Daniel Mosteller won his 2nd consecutive title. It ended up being, of course, a 3-way battle against Mason Moriarty, James Thurston. The final of the side series to come to a close was the IndyCar series with James Thurston. He ended up its title winner. Season 3 came to a close after the IORA Classic Series did. And it was in that series where I had the fortune of being the champion at the end of just about 7 races, the last ever side series we officially hosted. James Thurston, Season 3 champion. After that, it was his 2nd ever title with the IndyCar title right alongside him. Season 4 champion was dominantly Sean Conklin, Thurston winning the final race. Then you had River Page winning the Season 5 championship, as his teammate did in Season 3. Season 6 was Daniel Mosteller's 3rd and final title. And so, here we are today, the 4-wide salute, the entire field together, and a new champion in Aiden Walker. And not only for the field have they progressed and developed so much, but also we have at FTN Broadcasting. The IORA Formula 1 series was our first ever race covered. And from then on out, we got the opportunity to cover the Cup Series for the very first time later that month in February of 2022. From that point onward, we covered the end of the side series each and every season and made our way to the 3rd season when the Next Gens returned. Things got serious after that when we went to Season 4 and broadcasted the IORA Cup Series alongside the eNASCAR Road to Pro Tour and the Highline Racing League. And we continued on through Season 5, made the best of it in these last 2 seasons, Season 6 and Season 7. And here we are today, the victory lap, the final ever race. We're going to come back for that farewell tour, but when it comes down to the highest level of IORA competition, this is it. And the IORA Cup Series changed my life. Had it not been for this incredible group of people, so many of them who have been with us for these 4 years, I would never have the opportunity to start FTN Broadcasting and bring it to you as you see it. And if I was not given that opportunity, I don't know where I would be today. So to Mason Moriarty for the incredible ownership job he has done, as there's no other words to describe it besides phenomenal. He brought this league back to a level that it had not previously hit. And I think we really did go out the best way we could have. To Alex Anderson, the original owner, for organizing. For Daniel Mosteller, Walker, Whitaker, and all the admins who have brought people together and had the ideas to keep this going. There's really no other way to describe it. There's no other league with the unity and the community that IORA has. So we'll bring to it a close tonight, and we'll congratulate Jacob Wilkerson for the victory and Aiden Walker for the final IORA Cup Series championship. It's unbelievable that after 3 years and 3 months covering the series, it's coming to a close for us at FTN, and I've been here all the way. There really would be no FTN Broadcasting if there wasn't IORA, and I remain so thankful for the chance to do this. Thank you all for tuning in tonight from FTN Broadcasting. We hope you have a fantastic night, and we hope to see you again. Maybe one day we'll be back with the IORA Cup Series. Thank you once more for tuning in. It has been an honor. Congratulations to Walker. He's become a legend in this series, the 5th ever driver to win a championship. And we hope you have a fantastic night. From David Kreutz in the FTN Broadcasting booth. Until we see you next time.